defensively, we've got a chance to make up some of that ground that we've lost in the first 2 months of the season.
Last year, Jody Davis would go into a throwing slump. He had some problems. He was throwing high to second base, rushing his throws at times. This year, John, he's throwing unbelievably well. What's the reason for it?
Well, I think when we went to spring training, Jody and I talked, and we said that two areas that we had to work on the most was concentration and accuracy of his throws. Because usually when someone was safe last year, as you mentioned, it was a throw that was off the mark, either high or in the ground, short of second base. And we said, we've got to improve on our accuracy. And, you know, we worked spring training on our accuracy. We went on the back field and worked on our accuracy. And in the first couple of ball games of the year, what did we do? We bounced the ball in St. Louis. In fact, we were like the 6th game into the season before he threw someone out, and that was at third base in Pittsburgh. And we talked about it in Montreal early in the year, and he'd been lifting heavy weights. He got on a heavyweight program in spring training, and he thought that might be causing some of the problems. So we eliminated that from his workout, and ever since then, he's just been throwing very well. We're excited about it, but you know, there's always room for improvement. There's other areas of his game that we continue to work on, because I really believe that Jody Davis has a shot at being, maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but has a shot at being a National League MVP player, because we win a championship. He's capable of hitting 25, 30 home runs, driving in 80, 90 runs, and catch the way he's capable of catching. That's material for MVP.
John, let's talk about catching in general. Now, you caught for a long time in the major leagues. How important is it for a catcher to be in control of his pitching staff?
Well, physically, catching's easy. The mental part of the game is the tough part, and mental part of it is taking control of your pitching staff. I think that's one of the reasons. I started out with Baltimore, and Earl Weaver being my first manager, I'm sure most of the people listening are familiar with Earl Weaver. He didn't like me too much, and that was my rookie year. I was a real quiet guy, laid-back type guy. He wanted a take-charge type guy. He wanted somebody that would chew the pitcher out when he wasn't pitching well. If his ball was up in the strike zone, go out there and let him know. And my rookie year, I was in awe of everybody around me. Dave McNally, Jim Palmer, Mike Cuellar, Pat Dobson, 420-game winners. And, you know, if they shook me off, I'd let them shake me off. And that's not the way you have to be. The catcher has to be the quarterback. You have to take charge. You have to lead these pitchers around. You being a pitcher might disagree with me, but, you know, it's tough enough to go out there and throw strikes, much less thinking about how can I get this hitter out. I like Jody to take charge before the ball game begins, know what we want to do to that hitter that particular day, so the pitcher doesn't have to worry about it, and that's part of taking charge.
Thank you, John. Stay with us. We just had Johnny Oates on Jody Davis, and after these messages, we'll have Jody on Jody.
Well, these are the best of times to come on down to Hines.
Come to Hines for low sale prices on durable, handsome Weyerhaeuser wood panels. This week, 4x8-foot pre-finished panels start as low as $7.95. Save at Hines on BPS One Better Interior Latex Paint, offering one-coat coverage and a scrubbable low-luster finish. Sale price this week at just $11.99 a gallon.
'Cause your money goes further when you go to Hines.
Ryne Sandberg. A man whose actions speak louder than his words. And in case you haven't heard, he drives the Chevy. It's a natural.
There's a lot of great catchers in the National League. A couple names jump out at you: Gary Carter, Tony Pena. But the man who's throwing the ball the best is the man sitting next to me, Jody Davis. And Jody, you got to be off to the best start of your career, and what'd you do differently in the spring?
Well, I went down to spring a little early, and you know, I've been working hard with Johnny Oates. You know, just a big thing is really concentrating on my defense. Trying to throw the ball accurately, I think, is a big thing. Even a lot of the guys this year that have stolen bases off of me, it's been, you know, a bad throw. Throw's been high, or I bounced it, and we just got back to the basics and decided to make accurate throws and just to see what happened. And so far, I've been throwing the ball good. I don't know whether it's just a little more concentration or, you know, just the accuracy, just thinking about that.
You're throwing the ball well, you're also hitting the ball well, but early in the year, you started taking a lot of third strikes. You're not doing that now. What was the transition for you?
Well, I just, you know, had to think to myself. I said, I got to get a little more aggressive. I'm hitting down in the order. You know, just to be a little more aggressive. early in the year, too, here, you start the games before the time changes. You play a lot of games in the dark. I didn't really feel like I was seeing the ball good, whether it was a bad habit, I was jumping at the ball or what, but taking a lot of call thirds, and I just decided to get more aggressive and to start swinging the bat a little more.
With 9 home runs, you lead all catchers in that department. Do you view yourself as a home run hitter?
Well, anybody can hit home runs on days like today out here. It hadn't blown out a lot this year, but I just feel like I've got myself a lot stronger this winter. I continued to work out with the weights during the spring training, something that I've never done, and I just feel stronger for the most part.
Is there anything you can do to protect yourself about slumping in August and September, because those are the tough months for a man catching a lot of games?
Well, the catching's going to take its toll. You know, I try to cut infield out every other day and maybe get out of the cage a little early, skip the last couple of rounds there. You know, you got to make yourself eat, and you know, July and August when it gets hot, if you're out here catching every day, there's not really a whole lot you can do. Got to have some off days in those times.
Jim Fry wanted you to take more control, to go out, and you've been going out and having a lot more conferences with the pitchers. What do you try to do with a pitcher?
Well, I got to make some guys right now believe in themselves a little more. Our starters got off to a rough start, started doubting themselves, started trying to invent things out there. They're changing up on their own, and that's the first time they've really ever done that. And, you know, I think they just lost their confidence for a while. Last couple go-arounds, the guys have come back and they've thrown the ball a little better. Sutcliffe, the last 2 times out there, has been a little bit more aggressive. I think that's what our guys have to do. They got to come out there and say, look, we've had some success, we can pitch, and going right at guys.
We have a lot of youngsters who watch the broadcast, Jody, and if you have a couple of tips for a youngster, what would they be about catching every day?
Well, it's something tough to do every day. You know, it's going to take its toll. You know, there's times where I feel like you got to kind of like bruises to get back there. You know, the big thing to me anywhere, whether you play on catcher or any place else, is to get somewhere where you can have some fun, relax, and just see where it takes you. But you got to be having fun at it.
Are you having fun with your start this year?
Well, with my start, I'm pretty satisfied. Team-wise, we got to do better. We got to win some games, get back in this race.
We had Johnny Oates talking about Jody Davis. Now let's have Jody Davis talking about Johnny Oates. How good a catching instructor is he?
Oh, he's done wonders for me. I go out here and make a bad throw. He'll go in there and watch the tape 2 or 3 times, bring me in, show me exactly what I did wrong. We can come out on the field, and in a matter of 10 minutes, we can have something corrected, whereas, you know, maybe somebody else would let it slide. And Oatsy's been a great guy for me. You know, from the first day of spring training, we start working on things, and he just knows what to say to me to get me going, and, you know, I wouldn't take the world for Johnny Oates right now.
Scott Sanderson is going to the mound today for the Cubs. Describe a little bit what you have to do with Scott Sanderson to make him successful.
Well, today the big thing is just going to keep the ball down. We got to keep the ball down, and you got to cut down on the walks. The way the wind's blowing today, you can't afford to walk somebody and then give up the home run. The ball's going to go out of here today. You got to keep it down. Maybe, you know, maybe that'll keep the ball on the ground, keep it out of the air. But you just can't afford to walk, guys, because anybody can hit it out today.
Okay, Jody, good luck to you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Stay with us, because we're going to have a look at the starting pitchers after these messages.
Well, these are the best of times to come on down to Hines.
Save at Hines on Simcoe 6-foot swinging patio doors, complete with screen, lock set, deadbolt, and insulated tempered glass. Sale priced at $389. Also, Hines has many styles of sale price fencing, including Gilbert and Bennett cedar post and rail at $7.99 per 8-foot section. Let Hines arrange low-cost professional installation.
'Cause your money goes further when you go to Hines.
For Ryne Dee Sandberg, some things just come natural. And what he drives a Chevy. It's a natural.
On the mound today for the Braves, Rick Mailer. He had a great year last year. This year, he's been spotty. He gets a lot of pitches up, and he gives up a lot of home runs. And this isn't a good day for a pitcher to be throwing the ball up in the strike zone. Scott Sanderson on the mound for the Cubs. He's been inconsistent, but he's throwing the ball better lately. He's got a good slow curveball. Last time out, he didn't throw it as much. Some people around baseball said he was throwing it too much and the hitters were looking for it. Last time he used it as a waste pitch, and he got him out with that good fastball. And the key to the game today, Dale Murphy. What can you say about this big guy? 8 home runs, RBIs in bunches. He's only had 2 RBIs the last 6 games on this road trip, but he can be a devastating force in the middle. And something for you to watch, Omar Moreno. He's the speed man at the top of the order. He's been given new life with the Braves. He can steal a base if he gets on, and Sanderson will have to keep him off the bases by not walking him. It's going to be a good day for baseball. One more thing for you to watch. Leon Durham and Gary Matthews have 4 career home runs off Rick Mailer. The first game of the series. The Cubs are going to have a good one. Stay tuned for baseball. Participating guests on the leadoff man receive Zenith's new 4-inch diagonal portable TV, the perfect game companion. Zenith, the quality goes in before the name goes on. Leadoff Man was brought to you in part by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealer. If anyone can move you, Chevy can. And Edward Hines Lumber. Your money goes further when you go to Hines.
Beginning Monday night at 5, it's one day at a time.
Anybody ever tell you that exercise is not particularly ladylike?
Life in the Romano household.
Voila.
It's kind of now, kind of wow.
I hate it when you say that.
I think I liked him better with his beard.
Yeah, at least he looked wise when he said stupid things like that.
Schneider and Julie and Barbara. One day at a time. Beginning Monday night at 5 on Channel 9.
If you're 60 or over,
like me,
the Silver Pages from Southwestern Bell Media helps you shop for savings.
at all these businesses.
Yeah, who gave her a script? The businesses that offer special values for seniors in this area.
And don't forget.
I know, the useful magazine and information section.
Now, let's tell them about.
The Silver Savers Passport card. It's your passport to savings.
Oh, that's telling them, Bob.
The Silver Pages can make you a Silver Saver, too, so shop it and save. Hi-ho, Silver.
Oh.
We didn't know where to turn. When you've lost everything, you don't know what to do.
When a tornado wiped out the home of Marv and Marion Camerlander, their Allstate home replacement cost guarantee paid to completely rebuild it.
Leave it to the good hands, people.
Little over 3 months after we had been totally destroyed by the tornado, we moved back into our new home.
And I guess that really proves you're in good hands with Allstate.
A member of the Sears Financial Network.
Sox and Cubs highlights plus the memorable moments in sports on the 9 o'clock news.
It's a beautiful day in Chicago. Look at that water. And the sailboats are out today. It's 79 degrees. The wind is blowing out at about 10 miles an hour. That means a real exciting game between the Atlanta Braves and the Chicago Cubs. Stay with us and enjoy it.
Participating advertisers in Cubs baseball are Budweiser, Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. Toyota dealers, who remind you to buckle up. Who could ask for anything more? Your neighborhood True Value hardware stores. They've got what it takes. Your neighborhood Unocal 76 dealers, who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. United Airlines. You're not just flying, you're flying the friendly sky. Zenith. At Zenith, the quality goes in before the name goes on. Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. The Chicago Tribune. A great city deserves a great newspaper. Your Chicagoland, Northern Indiana Better Buick dealer. Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick? And Canon. So advanced, It's the world's leader in 35mm photography.
I need a vacation, like nobody's business. I need a vacation.
This summer, you need the airline with low fares to more places. The biggest bargain airline in the land, United.
I've got a vacation, and I'm not just flying.
Low fare.
I'm flying on vacation in the friendly skies.
If you're looking for full-sized comfort, luxury, and a lot more, try this on for size. The 1986 Buick Electra with fuel-injected V6 engine, rack and pinion steering, and front-wheel drive. And for luxury and performance in a mid-size car, try Century, Buick's bestseller. Sticker priced as low as $10,484. Buick Electra, Buick Century. Size them up at your Chicagoland, Northern Indiana, Better Buick dealer.
Now people are trying to tell you that thin is where it's at. Oh, but when it comes to my Sunday paper, I want one that's big and fat. All those skimpy little papers, they just don't satisfy. That's why the Sunday Tribune is the only Sunday paper to buy. The Chicago Tribune, honey, get your Sunday's worth.
It's a beautiful day for baseball. Hello again, everybody. This is Harry Carey at Wrigley Field. We're going to have a fine crowd on hand, might be in the neighborhood of 25,000 or so. They're still coming into the ballpark. It's 79 degrees, and the wind is blowing out of the west, which means it's blowing directly towards the right field wall. So the hitters will be benefited. It'll be Mailer, a fine hitting pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, against Sanderson of the Chicago Cubs. The Braves have been playing excellent baseball. The Cubs have been playing better of late than they did earlier. So this ought to be a dandy series. It'll be Eckersley and Trout pitching in other games for the Chicago Cubs. Scott Sanderson getting ready down there in the left field corner. Today's another in a series of Chicago Cubs Community Spirit Days here at the ballpark. Various Chicagoland businesses participate in this program, where 1,000 people are given the opportunity to see Cubs baseball. Today is Lakeshore Bank Community Spirit Day, and Scott Mettleman threw out the ceremonial first pitch as a special guest of the Lakeshore Bank. Also, Paula Stein, representing the David Berg hot dog people, threw out the other ceremonial first pitch. They're the sponsor of today's Sunglasses Day. Incidentally, Randy Hundley will be holding his Cubs fantasy camp here at Wrigley Field on the days of June 21st and 22nd. You have to be 35 years of age and over. In other words, you have to be an adult in order to attend. For more information, and this is really a lot of fun, for the fantasy of a lot of fellows who as kids dreamed of the day they'd be playing at Wrigley Field. For information, call Randy Hundley. He can be reached at 991-9595. This, I believe, is the only game underway in the major leagues this afternoon. There'll be a full schedule at night. This series continues with a day game, of course, tomorrow starting at 3:05, which is a little unusual for a Saturday afternoon, which means that the game will be televised on Channel 9 starting at 2:45 tomorrow afternoon. And then the finale of the homestand, as well as of the series, will be Sunday afternoon before the Cubs hit the road, opening up in Cincinnati Monday night. We'll be back with the national anthem following this.
Bud Thunder. It's revved up and coming at you.
It's easy to change dull to dazzling during spring paint savings at True Value Hardware stores. Indoors, True Test Easy Care Paint offers 3 finishes in 39 colors and white from only $9.98 a gallon. And protect your home's exterior with True Test Weatherall paint in 3 finishes from only $10.98 a gallon, the season's lowest price. Turn up the color with True Test paints from participating True Value Hardware stores.
With Steve Stone, Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. We're just about ready to play baseball. Here are the lineups for today's game. For the Atlanta Braves, Marino at right, Oberkfell at third, Murphy in center, Harner at first, Perry in left, Ramirez at short, Virgil the catcher, Hubbard at second, and Rick Mailer will be the pitcher. For the Chicago Cubs, Lopes leading off at third base, Matthews in left, Sandberg at second, Moreland in right, Durham at first, Mumphrey in center, Davis the catcher, Dunston at short, and Scott Sanderson the pitcher. Sanderson has won 2, lost 2. There are the umpires. Terry Tata working the plate, Jerry Crawford at first, Charlie Williams at second, Harry Wendelstedt at third. And Barbara Ziliak will be singing now our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Barbara Ziliak singing our national anthem. And we're about ready to play baseball before a fine crowd. You know, I was doing some True Value commercials to Streeterville this morning. And I went across the street afterwards at a place called Boston Blackie. And I was attracted because I thought, as you did too, of the old movies featuring Chester Morris. And while I was in there, who walks in but Kenton Morris, who's the operation manager of WGN Radio. And I must have known about it, but it never occurred to me. It turns out Kenton Morris is the son of the old movie star Chester Morris, who was the original Boston Blackie. And just to prove the point, the owner there showed me a picture while Kenton was there of Chester Morris with his wife and Kenton as a little baby in his mother's arms. So how small this world really is. Of course, you're too young to ever have heard of Boston Blackie.
No, I don't know. My dad told me that it was quite a show, though.
It was a great show. They made television after the movies. They also had a Boston Blackie a television series. Chester Morris, I believe, played the leading role in that one also. But here's Kenton Morris. We see him all the time. He never once has mentioned his Hollywood background.
There you take a look at Scott Sanderson. Last time out against Houston, he threw the ball very well. He pitched 7 innings, gave up 5 hits and 1 run. And there you look at where the Cubs are in the standings. 13 games in back of the streaking New York Mets. And the fact that Montreal has stayed 6 games back is a testament to them. Houston surprisingly leads the National League West by 2.5 games, and I say surprisingly, not because they're not a quality ball club, but everybody felt that the 2 teams at the bottom, Los Angeles and Cincinnati, would be at the top, and it hasn't worked out that way. Chicago White Sox 5.5 games back, and Bobby Valentine has his Texas Rangers playing some pretty solid baseball.
There's the tough league. The American League East. You're talking about at least 5 good ball clubs. And one of the good ones is down on the bottom, Toronto, Boston, the Yankees, Baltimore making moves, Toronto.
Harry, why do you think it's so difficult for teams having great seasons to come back the next year and even put together respectable years?
Well, I don't think there's any question at all that you could ever get a single player to agree, because they would think that it's a reflection on their work habits. But I think it's they do get fat and smug and complacent. And while they spend as much time in spring training, they really don't push themselves as hard. And I think it's got to be more psychological than anything else. And how are you going to compare to a degree anything that's primarily mental?
A lot of people talk about the emphasis of the game shifting, Harry. It used to be everybody went out to win. Now they go out for a lot of other reasons. And a good ball player and a wonderful fellow by the name of Frank White says in the paper that the next time the official score gives him an error when he thinks it should be a base hit, he's going to walk off the field. Now, this is a quality player making a statement like that. I hope Buddy Biancalana can cover a lot of ground, because without a second baseman, it's going to be tough for Kansas City.
You know, talking about something you're reading in the newspaper, I'm reminded that maybe one of the best columns being written on sports is not appearing in the Chicago papers. It appears in the South Bend Tribune, and that's our friend Bill Gleason. The other day he had a column taking the writers to task. And today he's got a tremendous column on the greatness, the impending greatness of Shawon Dunston. 1 strike and nothing on Omar Marino. Slow curve in there. 0-2 the count. Marino hitting .253, 1 homer and 7 RBI. Sanderson throws another breaking ball, this time high. 1-2. The last game he had a great fastball going. Today has started off with 2 slow curves. There's Chuck Tanner, the great pilot of the Braves. 1-2 the count. Slow curve low. 3 out of the first 4 pitches have been his slow curveball. There is Jim Fry. I was really intrigued by the 2 morning papers. And I mentioned how these writers sit next to each other all the time, and how you can look over the other guy's shoulder and see what he's writing about. He foul tips it. And never did it come back to mind as graphically as it did this morning, when both papers, both beat writers, are writing the very same thing about the unhappy players who are not in the regular lineup. You'd think at least one of them would write something different, wouldn't you? 2-2 pitch. And Marino steps out of the batter's box.
He was very tough on the Cubs in Atlanta. He's 2 for his last 12. He's starting to settle back. But he is such a good base runner, you got to concentrate.
There's a high pop foul out of play. You know, I thought what Fry said, though, when you're winning, guys who aren't playing are happy. But when you're losing, they're sure you'd be winning if they were playing. But they don't look at the batting averages, and they don't look how bad they are in the field. They just look at their past reputation and their present-day contract. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 3.
Harry, looking at Omar Moreno and Chuck Tanner, I'm reminded of the 1979 Pirates, and I know one thing. Nobody's singing We Are Family in 6th place.
3 balls, 2 strikes. The guy who led the singing is now first base coach for the Braves. He walked him after all those slow curves. He winds up walking him.
That's the one thing Jody Davis said before the game that Scott Sanderson or any pitcher on a day like today has got to avoid. You're going to give up the home runs with the wind blowing out. You just can't walk people ahead of the big bombers, or those single home runs become 2- and 3-run jobs.
Here's Ken Obergfell, another left-hand hitter, batting .315 with 1 homer, 4 RBIs. He used to be with the Cardinals. He's not exactly unhappy that the Cardinals, after trading him, are in last place.
5 stolen bases for Omar Moreno. He's been thrown out 3 times. And the reason why Obergfell hits second is because he makes contact, and he's an exceptional hit-and-run man. You should see it in this situation.
Long delay. Fastball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Get ready for a long afternoon. Marino very fast, a wide lead. Lobs it over to first. Tanner loves to play running baseball when he's got the material to do it with. He's got a good contact hitter at the plate and a speedy runner on the bases. Again, he's back. It was kind of refreshing to read Bill Gleason's column criticizing sports writers rather than an announcer. Usually they write a column criticizing the announcer.
Moreno's been leaning toward second base. He doesn't figure the Cubs will call a pitch out with a 1-ball count. And it looks like he's just about getting ready to run.
Well, it's taken over 10 minutes with only 1 man pitched to already. 1 ball, no strikes. Again, he throws over there. Cub fans are here from Durant and Walcott, Iowa. One ball, no strikes. Again, he throws over there. Boy, Gleason says some true and kind words about Dunston. He says he is to the Cubs now what Ernie Banks was in '54. He's the young player who generates present excitement and who promises future greatness.
With Scott on the mound, I hope you brought some more articles in.
We'll have plenty of time to read. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, if Moreno is going to steal, he's going to make sure that he's very tired out before he goes.
I don't think you worry about with this sort of pitching is that the fellas on the field might fall asleep. They pitch out. 2 balls, no strikes. Obergfell with Dale Murphy waiting on deck. Around 25,000 on hand, I'd guess.
That 4-1 game.
Marino is back easily. There he goes, swung on. High pop fly, Lopes chasing it. They're still chasing it. Great catch! Holy cow! What a remarkable recovery. He was looking for Dunston, and then he realized Shawon had stopped.
This is most unusual. This is an easier play for the shortstop, even though it's down the line. Dunston's been covering a lot of ground that way. The wind blew it back fair, and Davy Lopes made an outstanding play.
I think what happened, Steve, was with the runner breaking, Dunston was going over to take the throw, and therefore he was not in position to make a catch he normally would. So he's just recovering and coming back, retracing.
And what a play by Lopes. That looked like it was going to fall. So good defense early for Sanderson.
Here's Murphy hitting .307, 8 homers and 23 RBIs. How long are you allowed to hold the ball before you pitch it?
Supposedly, the time limit is 30 seconds, but it really isn't enforced. And, of course, there is no limit to how many times you can throw to first base.
A runner at first, 1 out. He had a cut. Great Cub fans, Scott Slocum and Hank Hannon from East Peoria. Also great Peoria Chief fan. Chiefs got beat in Springfield 8-7 last night, or in Peoria by Springfield. 0-1 the count. There goes the runner. There's the tag, and he is in there. The ball got away from Jody. It was a delayed break by Omar Marino. Let's see what they're going to call it.
Well, the ball got away. And if it was in the dirt, it'll be a wild pitch, if not a pass ball. And it certainly would be a wild pitch. And that's what they score it. Jody tries to do the best job he can. It looks like the ball might have touched off the helmet of Moreno. Fortunately, it stayed right there.
So Dale Murphy now with the runner in scoring position. Sanderson. That ball gets away. That'll be a pass ball. Now they have a runner at third. With 1 out.
It's a breaking ball low and away. And it just hits off the glove of Jody Davis, and that is a pass ball.
This is the third man to bat. There's been no rain delay. And already better than 15 minutes of elapsed. 2 balls and a strike. There's a curveball in there. 2-2.
Murphy's only had 2 RBIs on this road trip, encompassing 6 games. But the Cubs know just how dangerous he can be. He's got great power the opposite way. Can take the ball out anywhere in the ballpark. So you have to keep changing locations as well as pitches and speeds on him.
He hits to the opposite field well, and the wind is blowing out in that direction. Ball is high, slow curve, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The outfield shades towards left. What was that, Arnie? Arnie says our last plane trip was shorter than this half inning. Just so he gets him out. We don't care how long he takes. 3-2. Fouled it back to the screen.
One thing he's doing is something that I haven't seen many pitchers do, Harry. He's taking a stretch, which effectively freezes a man at third base. And then he's looking both at home and at third base. You can see if Moreno's going to go, there's really no reason to keep looking on and off to him.
It is ours not to reason why, but merely to do and die. 3-2 is the count. I wonder what... Now the pitch. With all that, he walked him on a slow curve. Come on, let's go.
Now he's got the double play man up in Bob Horner. But he also has enormous power and a lot of RBIs.
Horner hitting .252 with 30 ribbies, 7 home runs. He is slow of foot. Scott Sanderson.
Horner's grounded into 6 double plays to lead the Braves in that department.
Who's a slower worker than Sanderson in baseball? There's a pitch low and outside. I can't think of anybody.
The only guy who was close is retired now, and that's Gaylord Perry, who was a very deliberate man on the mound.
Yeah, but it took him a while to get the spin on the ball.
And he was also well in his 40s.
Sanderson may be before this game's over. 1 ball, no strikes. Ooh, what a rip he had. Boy, I'm glad he didn't hit that one. There was a fastball that looked like about belt high. His swing was right there. He just simply fouled it back. 1-2 the count. Runners at first and third, the infield back. Look where Dunston's playing. You have to run 100 yards to get from short to second base. That's how much they think he'll pull. High pop fly. Playable so far. Durham near the wall, can't reach it. The wind blew it out of play. And now the count is 1-2.
Take a look at a good effort by Leon Durham. And you can't see it, but it was a heads-up play by Davy Lopes. He had no responsibility at third base, and as soon as he saw Jody Davis go to the dugout, Davy came in to cover home plate in case Sanderson didn't get there.
Bob Horner in the hole now, 1-2. Sandberg is playing right behind second base. Dunston is almost playing third, way around. That's how much they figure Horner will pull. Struck him out with a fastball. Horner goes on swinging, and Gerald Perry will be the hitter.
Good spot for this fastball. Take a look at it. It comes back over the plate. But after a couple of breaking pitches, he just fooled Bob Horner.
All right, here's Gerald Perry batting .238 with no homers, 2 RBIs. Marino coming down the line at third, trying to distract Scott Sanderson. Fastball a little wide. 1 ball, no strikes. After a lot of slow curves of the first 2 hitters, Sanderson now seems to have gone back to that good fastball. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out. High pop foul. The wind might bring it back. Nope. And the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Birthday greetings to Art Sagal Jr. His dad's been a member of the ground crew here for many years. Young Art is working in the scoreboard today.
Claudell Washington went on the disabled list with a nerve problem in his neck. And when that happened, they called up Gerald Perry, who was crushing the ball at a 440 clip in AAA. He's a longtime first baseman who has made the transition to left field.
A ball and a strike. Low and outside. Rafael Ramirez, who tied a major league record in the game against the Cubs down in Atlanta last week, 2 weeks ago, when he had 4 doubles in 1 contest. 2 balls and a strike. Popped it up on the infield. Sandberg under the ball to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the first, no score.
When you're looking for fun, there's one place to find all kinds.
Ameritech Bell, yellow, pages.
The complete, the accurate, the original, the one you know.
Ameritech Bell, yellow, pages.
When you're looking for something, when you're looking for someone, looking in the book.
You know the one.
The complete, the accurate, the original, the one you know.
Ameritech Bell Yellow Pages.
Published by Donnelly Directory.
Saturday, May 31st is the Mountain Dew Burger King On-Field Youth Clinic at Wrigley Field. Youngsters get there early and learn from the pros.
Did you ever notice how sometimes with unleaded regular gasoline, even your new car can feel like an old clunker? All that knocking and pinging can wither your youthful enthusiasm quickly. But there is a gasoline that can prevent all that. Super 76, a premium unleaded.
Fill her up, Sonny.
It's got the kind of high-octane performance that can help prevent cars from aging prematurely.
The Spirit of 76.
An official sponsor of the Liberty Centennial.
For a better bite on the diamond, it's Mizuno's Duracleat Crusher with thick cleats for longer wear. Now only $29.94 at Sport Mart.
For sports, it's Sport Mart.
Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. Let's take a quick rundown on the other minor league clubs of the Cubs. Iowa beat Nashville last night 6-3. Mike Brumley hit a 3-run homer. He's really been hitting. Steve Lake had a couple of hits. Pittsfield split a doubleheader with Nashua. Winston-Salem had an open date. Peoria got beat by Springfield in 10 innings, 8-7.
There you take a look at Rick Mailer. He threw against the Cubs in Atlanta. Went 6 1/3 innings, gave up 8 hits and 4 earned runs. He walked 3, he struck out 2. He got a no decision. The Braves won that game 9-8. He's been hanging his breaking ball and getting a lot of his fastballs up. And on a day like today, you figure the Cubs are going to take the ball out of the ballpark against him. He was a very good pitcher for the Braves last year. He finally put together a good one for them. But this year, he struggled a little bit early.
There's Davy Lopes to lead it off. Curveball outside. Well, Jake Finley's daughter, lovely Patty Moroder, is in Lake Forest Hospital, where she has just given birth to Megan. So Jake is a grandpa, and lovely Patty is a mother, and her husband is a very nervous guy. 2 balls and a strike. So congratulations to the Marauders and to Jake Finley and his family. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Davy Lopes batting .292. Now the count is full. Rick Mailer on the hill. 4-4 for the year with a earned run average of 4.52.
His last 4 starts, the earned run average has been under 3, and after shutting out Montreal opening night, he lost 4 in a row. So he's starting to get back on track.
Bouncing ball up the middle, it's still a base hit. And Davy Lopes continues his great play. Boy, he is red hot. Here's the Sarge in the lineup today.
Lopes had reached base safely 10 of his last 16 at-bats before that base hit.
Here's a pitch a little low. I tell you, and he gives you a little speed when he gets on there. He can steal that base for you. A runner at first, nobody out. Matthews hitting .198 for the year. 3 homers, 9 RBI. High fastball, ball 2.
He hit a high changeup out of the park against Rick Mailer in Atlanta. And lifetime, he's hit 4 home runs against him. That's one of the reasons Jim Fry inserted him in the lineup today. He took a look at the cards and figured out the Sarge might have a good chance to hit against Mailer.
2 balls, no strikes. Insurance actuaries would have a great future in baseball these days, you know?
Yes, predictability.
2 balls, no strikes. Nobody does anything anymore without looking to see what the guy did against that pitcher. You know, by those standards, what would... There goes a runner, low outside. No play! A stolen base. Davy Lopes. I think that's his 7th stolen base of the year.
Not the greatest start in the world for Davy Lopes, but the pitch was a breaking ball low and away. Ozzie Virgil can't even get off a throw. So on a 2-0 pitch, Lopes guessed breaking ball, and he guessed right.
Now Matthews with a chance to advance a ball, 3 the count. Hey, he walked him, and the Cubs have a great beginning. Runners at first and second and nobody out. Here's Ryne Sandberg. You know, to carry out that thought about what a guy hits against a certain pitcher. Along that line, the great Stan Musial would never have batted against Bill Worrell because he was once 0 for 34 against him.
Well, he probably shouldn't have hit against him then.
Listen, Worrell was always so relieved that he got Musial out, he forgot about the guy that followed him in the batting order. And those guys would knock him out. Here's a pitch in there for a strike call.
That's what Charlie Fox told me when he managed me against St. Louis. When I pitched against him early, he said, if you can keep Brock and Torrey from hitting you against St. Louis, you're okay.
Yeah.
So Phil Roof and Bob Gibson and Del Maxfield knocked me out of the box with doubles in the same inning.
0-1 the count. That evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Sandberg hitting .284, 3 homers and 22 RBI.
Mailer might have been a little psyched out about the wind blowing out today. I asked him what he does on a day like this. He said he hits a little bit better to try to get the runs back he gives up.
He is a fine hitter himself. There's a off-speed pitch, and Sandberg was way out in front as he pulled the ball foul. 1-2 the count. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. No score.
They're giving Rhino all of right center field. Dale Murphy a couple of steps over in left center. And Omar Moreno playing him like a left-handed pull hitter in right field.
That's a peculiar defense. Look at the left fielders over in left center. They give them all the left field line, play him like a left-hand hitter in right field, and the center fielder plays him like a pull right-hand hitter, which he probably would have to be described as. 1-2 the count. Sandberg steps out of there. And Ozzie Virgil goes out to top.
You know, Davy Lopes is a pretty astute base runner. And also, he's a good student of both pitchers and catchers. So perhaps Ozzie Virgil saw Davy Lopes radioing something to Sandberg, and he might want to change the signs with Rick Mailer. Lopes has been on second base for a few pitches now, and he might have picked something up.
When you said he's astute, well, then it's much easier for him to figure out a dumb pitcher than a smart catcher. 1-2 the count. Rick Mailer in trouble.
If he keeps giving Davy Lopes that much of a lead, Lopes is going to steal third.
There's a drive way back. It might be near the wall. It could be. It is! Holy cow! A 3-run homer for Ryne Sandberg. And the Cubs lead 3-0. And that will cost True Value Hardware $300, which they happily donate to Cubs Care and Northwestern Memorial Hospital in the fight against cancer. And a way to get the game started.
The 10th home run given up by Rick Mailer. He gets some breaking pitches up. He did it again there. Home run number 4. RBIs 23, 4, and 5 for Rhino.
Here's Moreland now. Fastball in there, a strike call. Cubs are out in front. They've won 4 out of 6 on this homestand. Remember the other day, there's a high pop foul out of play. I mentioned it. Here we're showing you the home run.
Curveball that hung up, and Rhino hits it out. You cannot afford to get anything up today.
The wind is blowing straight out. 0-2 the count. Outside. You know, I mentioned the other day if the Cubs win 2 out of every 3, which have been doing in the last 2 series, they would wind up with 97 victories. There's a high fly ball. Marino back. 1 out. And 97 victories would win them any division.
Not only has Leon Durham hit very well against the Braves, lifetime .325, but he just seems to see the ball against Rick Mailer well. Mailer comes right over the top, and the Bull has punished him in the past.
The wind is blowing perfectly for Durham, straight out at 10 miles an hour. Fastball a little bit outside. They're here from Waukegan and Ashland, Wisconsin. Foul ball back into the stands. Sonny Pepin watching the game here today. 1 ball, 2 strikes. High pop foul out of play. Bob and Bill Hutmacher, executives of Anheuser-Busch, managers of the Chicago area. He struck him out on a slow curve.
Chuck Tanner.
Birthday greetings to Bob and Bill Hutmacher.
Chuck Tanner has his Braves off to a very good start this year. Atlanta didn't figure to do too much. A lot of people said they were an aging ball club. They didn't have much pitching. But Chuck Tanner came over, and they're 3 games over 500, 2.5 games in back of Houston, and they've won 7 of their last 10.
Mumphrey, that'll be an easy out from Harner to Mailer. But the Cubs scored 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 1, Cubs 3, Braves nothing.
This place is jumping, Toyota's jumping, on all our trucks you save lots of bucks because the place is jumping.
It's Toyota's biggest sales event. There are factory-to-dealer incentives on selected trucks, and you'll save on extra value package trucks and cargo vans, too.
This place is jumping, Toyota's jumping. We've got the deals on your favorite wheels, cause now the place is jumping.
Darryl, it's 110 stories high.
World's tallest building. You ready?
Darryl, are you sure these will hold us?
No problem. They'll take us all the way to the top.
But Darryl,
there'll be endorsements,
Darryl.
TV appearances, books. We'll make millions. You ready?
Are you sure these will hold?
Trust me. They'll stick like glue.
There's an easier way to reach new financial heights. Play Lotto.
And now, Church's Fried Chicken presents the Bucketheads.
What's for dinner tonight, dear?
What else? The bucket.
Did you get too little?
Sure.
Did you pay too much?
Of course. Way to go, Mom.
Don't be a buckethead. Head to Church's Fried Chicken and get bigger chicken that's crispy and juicy at a lower Church's price. You won't get that in the bucket.
Mom, will we always be bucketheads?
Kick the bucket. Come to Church's.
Zenith, a leader in projection TV, has the Smart Set with a sharper, brighter, clearer picture. See your Zenith dealer.
With Steve Stone, Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. We go to the top of the 2nd. Cubs are leading 3-0. You can't beat beautiful Lake Michigan on a day like this. All the sailboats are out today. And the Budweiser, ice cold. My kind of town, my kind of beer. Chicago and Budweiser. Here we go with Ramirez. He played double or nothing down in Atlanta against the Cubs. Fastball in there. Oh, and 1 the count. That evens it up.
In an effort to get Andres Thomas, a fine young shortstop, some playing time against left-handers, Tanner has shifted Ramirez to third base on occasion. He is an excellent shortstop who hits the ball well, but Thomas is their shortstop of the future. He looks like a dandy.
1-1 pitch. Line drive into center field will be caught. Jerry Mumphrey is there. 1 away. Walter Fry, who used to play baseball in the minor leagues, from Stoneville, North Carolina, here with his family, just to cheer for the Cubs.
Ozzie Virgil is off to a terrible start, but he still has kept his power statistics up. It's been pretty much home run or nothing for Ozzie. He's got tremendous power, but he's trying to pull everything and hit everything out of the ballpark.
1 man out. You know, when people write up sometimes and say hello to somebody, I say, why don't you pick up the phone and call them? But in this case, I can understand.
That's an expensive call.
Right. The pitch. Fastball inside. Burnett Lopez wants to say hello to Diana Castillo and Selena Andreas in Belize, Central America. They're great fans there in Belize. There's a fastball for a strike. Sanderson, after starting out with a lot of slow curves, has gone back to that good fastball that he has, as if to establish it. 2 balls and a strike. Another fastball, foul back. 2-2.
Last year, Virgil was with the Philadelphia Phillies. Hit only .246, but did manage to hit 19 home runs with 55 RBIs. This year, he said it's been a struggle for him, coming over to a new team, trying to establish the fact that he is a quality player, and he's just been pressing.
2-2 pitch. Foul back. Kind of funny, but there's so many trite and hackneyed explanations in sports, especially in baseball. If a guy's hitting real well, he's really seeing the ball. If he's going bad, he's pressing. Could it ever be that when he's going bad, he's terrible? And when he's going good, he's just good? 2 balls, 2 strikes. Struck him out. He wasn't only pressing. He missed that curveball by about 1.5 feet.
Well, that's trying to hit a home run on every pitch, Harry. You try to pull this ball, and this is what happens. You can see he just opened up too quickly, and he can't get to the outside corner. And that's what happens when you start getting homer conscious instead of taking that breaking ball to right field.
Here's Glenn Hubbard, the second baseman, hitting .263. Just a feisty little guy and hard-nosed ball player.
And he has been taking the ball to right field. That's the reason for his batting average being up. He started to take everything away to the right side, and it's made him a better hitter.
There's a fastball high, ball 2. The lady who sang our national anthem today, Barbara Ziliak, is a teacher at Our Lady of Wayside School in Arlington Heights. She did an excellent job. There's a good fastball, strike call. 2 balls and a strike. Cubs are out in front on Ryne Sandberg's 3-run homer, 3-0. Strike, a slider at the knee. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Him out with a fastball. That's 3 strikeouts now for Sanderson. We move to the bottom of the second. 3-0 in favor of the Cubs.
Enter the 23rd century, where man is divided by two worlds. Sean Connery, Charlotte Rampling. Saturday night at 7 on Channel 9.
One world championship, 5 gold cups, 7 national titles. Miss Budweiser and the King of Beers, the winningest team in hydroplane racing. Racing fans, this Bud's for you.
Your Honor, she is leading the witness.
I am not leading the witness.
I need a vacation. Like nobody's business. I need a vacation.
Counsel.
This summer, you need the airline with low fares to more places. The biggest bargain airline, United.
I got a vacation.
Counsel, please continue.
Your Honor,
Counsel,
and I'm not just flying.
I've decided in favor of the Chablis.
I'm flying on vacation in the friendly skies.
It's Pennzoil's Indy Winter Sale with winning savings on every bottle. Send in 1 coupon and get 20 cents back. Buy 5 quarts, enough for an oil change, and get $1 back. Buy a case and get $2.40 back. You're getting great Pennzoil protection and great savings. So stock up now and take advantage of Pennzoil's Indy Winter Sale. Pennzoil, the standard of protection since 1889.
The age of battery flashlights is over. Introducing the First Alert rechargeable flashlight. Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. Here's Jody Davis to lead it off. First pitch to him is a little bit low and outside. The South Bend Fire Department here. I hope a fire doesn't break out. One ball, no strikes. Ground ball, Ramirez. Should be an easy out, 1 gone. Speaking of South Bend, I wonder how Lou Holtz and his Fighting Irish will be in '86. I think they'll be great.
I know one thing, Harry, they're not going to be out-coached because that man is outstanding.
Really is. 1 out. Here's Shawon Dunston. Fastball in there for a strike call. They're here from Denver and Greeley, Colorado. I watch it, comes on the cable all the time. A ball and a strike. Dunston hitting .294. He had a cut on a breaking ball and he missed it.
That was the best curveball that Rick Mailer's thrown today. He said his curveball's been rolling instead of snapping sharply. That one dropped off the table.
There's another one, but this one's high. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Leadoff single by Lopes, a base on balls to Matthews, and a 3-run homer by Sandberg. Did it in a hurry for the Cubs today. 2-2 pitch. He struck him out. Off-speed curveball. That's his second strikeout.
And that time Mailer got away with one. He took something off that ball and it didn't break sharply. Dunston just missed a good pitch to hit.
Here's Scott Sanderson. He had the game-winning hit in one of the 2 victories he has scored. He's won 2, he's lost 2. Fastball outside. They're here from Paz's in Lincoln, Nebraska. That evens the count. A ball and a strike. Get well wishes to Dick Watts at Holy Cross Hospital. 1-1 pitch. Missed the curveball. 1-2 the count. Curves a little bit high. Jan here from Dunedin, Florida.
They're still coming into the ballpark.
They got about 25,000, I guess.
Good crowd in these 3:05 starts. Give the fans a chance to get in a full day's work and still come to the old ball yard.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 3. 3-2. A high pop foul. It's playable. Virgil there to retire the side. At the end of 2, the Cubs are leading 3-0.
Beginning Monday night at 5:30, meet the gang from Welcome Back, Cotter.
Hi there. Hello.
The Sweat Hog.
I'm Vinny Barbarino.
Freddie. Boom, boom.
Juan Luis Pedro Felipe de Huevos Epstein.
Voted most likely to take a life.
I'm Arnold Horseshack.
Welcome Back, Cotter.
I get along without any macho with a wolf.
Weeknights at 5:30 on Channel 9.
There's a change in the air.
Ultra.
Ultra? No way, Slick. If you play Ultra, we all play Ultra.
Ultra.
Using an Ultra 1 today.
Okay, if you step back to the blues. Ultra.
Sam, that looks like a long hole.
Oh, Squire, I think you'd better use one of my Ultras.
Ultra from Wilson.
It'll change the way you play. Ultra.
I hope the rest of the kids don't know about it yet.
I've always been afraid of 2 things, flying and good cameras. But with this Canon T70, I'm not afraid. This push-button T70 is so easy to use, I can even get the tough shots, like backlit shots. Stop, take action shot, bang! I can even use a zoom, boom!
The Canon T70 so advanced it makes the tough shot simple.
I'm fearless now. Ooh.
Enter the Canon photo contest and win an adventure trip on the Salmon River. Details at Canon dealers.
Builder Square, where you guarantee the lowest prices on home improvement on every item every day. 7 Chicago area convenient locations to serve you.
A participating advertiser in Cubs baseball is the Illinois State Lottery. Winning lotto numbers are now drawn twice a week on Wednesday and Saturday. So double your chances to win millions. Play Lotto.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago National League Ball Club, which has the right of approval of the announcers, and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or retransmission, or any other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Chicago National League Ball Club is prohibited.
We go to the top of the 3rd. The Cubs are leading 3-0. Boy, oh boy, isn't that beautiful? That's the kind of day it is in Chicago. Rich D, Kevin, and Kathy Kaler. They're from Hobo Country. Do you know where Hobo Country is? Well, it's Britt, Iowa, according to this note. Mailer, a good hitting pitcher, pops up on the first pitch. 1 out. You're watching Chicago Cubs baseball over WGN, Channel 9, Chicago, America's #1 sports station, where you see the news first at 9 o'clock each night. And by the way, you'll see the Cubs tomorrow at 2:45, at 3 o'clock tomorrow. These strange times are getting to you, Arnie. There's a high pop foul out of play. Omar Marino, there's Chuck Tanner.
He changed his hitting style. From when he was with Pittsburgh on the AstroTurf, he used to chop the ball to the left side. When the Cubs saw him in Atlanta, Moreno started to pull everything.
Sanderson gets set. Got a 3-run lead. A slider a little bit inside. There's a couple have a bar in Dunedin, Florida, DJ's Lounge, where everybody watches the Cubs every day. A ball and a strike. There's a base hit, maybe. Great play by Sandberg. Save, he still beat it out. Holy cow, did you see where he fielded the ball? He almost threw out the speedy Marino from short right field.
Omar Moreno is still pulling everything. This is in the hole. It looks like it's going to right field. Not so. Sandberg comes up with a great play, a 360 and a throw to first base. And only the fact that Moreno runs so well got him in. And watch it again. Watch the range he covers to his left.
Man. That's fantastic.
He's almost in the bullpen when he makes this throw.
You know, you really don't appreciate a play like that until you see it a second and third time, as Arnie just showed it to you. Here now is Oberkfell.
You know when you really appreciate it, Harry, is you watch some of the other second basemen around the league who don't have that kind of range, and you see the balls that get through, as opposed to what it takes to get a ball by Sandberg into right field.
He's just a tremendous first baseman. Second baseman, rather. Although the ground he covers, he might as well play first base also at the same time. That ball was headed for right field. He fielded it in short right and almost got his man. Anybody but Marino he'd have had. Marino at first, one out.
He threw over to first base 9 times the last time Moreno was on, but it kept him from stealing, so he's watching him close.
There's a good fastball up the knee, a strike call. 3-0, the Cubs are leading. Ball game in the top of the third. Again, they throw over there.
Oberkfell hit .272 last year and had a tough year the year before, but now his batting average once again is over 300, where it usually winds up.
The runner is back. 8th graders from Spring Valley, Illinois, call our attention to the world's largest spaghetti festival, June the 15th at Spring Valley, Illinois, commemorating their 100th anniversary. Out of the mouths of babes.
You love spaghetti. How about going over there for some pasta passing?
Well, I'd love to, but we're in St. Louis on those days. 0-1 the count. I know you don't know much about Italian food, so I would take you along and initiate you to the real wonders of gastronomic arts.
Don't forget Tony's in St. Louis.
There's a drive on the run, Mumphrey. Good play. Oberkfell lines hard. Mumphrey got a good jump. Isn't it funny how much better he looks as a center fielder than he does at the flanks?
Well, Harry, the ball is truer in center field. It doesn't hook and it doesn't slice. It usually comes right at you. He seems to get a good jump, and in center field you can also tell the location of each pitch. You can be moving actually before the ball is hit if you anticipate, and good center fielders watch the way the man is swinging the bat, and they're actually breaking a lot of times as the ball is coming off the bat.
Now Dale Murphy. Time is called. Again, they throw over there, but Marino's back. The Perez family from San Antonio, Texas, here to see the Cubs live and in person after watching them on television all the time for years. Time called again. Maybe Sanderson's getting on Dale Murphy's nerves with his delayed style of pitching. Twice Murphy has called time to get out of the box. Runner back. They're here from Prudential, a big group. High. 1 ball, no strikes. I don't blame Sanderson for pitching carefully to Murphy. It's when you take 10 minutes to pitch to the first man up in the ballgame. It irks you. A drive fouled in the right field corner. And the count evens in a ball and a strike. Greetings to the Prince of Peace graduating class from Lake Villa, Illinois. Two men are out, a man at first base. Cubs are leading 3-0 on Ryne Sandberg's home run. A little bit inside, ball 2. Irene Verne Cookie and Dolly Burton from Lake Forest, California. Enjoying the game. 2 balls and a strike. Runner back. The game's exactly 1 hour old. We're in the top of the 3rd.
He saw Moreno take an extra step and figured he was going with a 2-1 count. Let's see if that holds true even with a slugger up.
Again, he's back. If you're just leaving the office, come on over to the ballpark. There's plenty of time to see most of the ball game.
Moreno's made enough dives back into first base to qualify for the Olympics. He might have to change uniforms next inning.
There goes a runner, the peg. He is in there with a stolen base. The throw is low.
That was one of the few times where Jody had a good shot at the runner, and he bounced the ball to second. Watch it again. He's got Moreno dead to rights. If he can keep the ball in the air, he doesn't. Watch what Sandberg has to do. As he comes up, the ball goes under him, and watch it one more time. Moreno does not get a good jump. Sanderson did a good job of holding him close, but the throw's not on target.
Three balls and a strike. Bob Horner on deck. He walked him. That's a third base on balls given up by Sanderson. He's also fanned 3. He's only given up 1 hit. That was Moreno's. Here's Horner representing the tying run. 7 homers for the year. 30 RBIs. There's a breaking ball in there.
Last time up, he set up Bob Horner with the breaking ball and threw the fastball by him. Now he starts him off with a curveball again. Horner a dead pull hitter and a radical shift put on by the Cubs.
A high fastball, 1-1. Sandberg is playing directly behind second base. Now Durham is not holding the runner on. He's way around towards second. Dunston's behind the third baseman Lopes, who's guarding the line. There's a drive, but it's going to be caught. Corner line to Matthews. No runs, one hit, no errors, 2 left. We go into the bottom of the third. Cubs still leading 3-0.
This place is jumping. Toyota's jumping. Just a few more days for you to stay because the place is jumping.
It's Toyota's biggest sales event, but this is the last weekend to get incredible deals on America's #1 selling import. So jump on in before time runs out.
The deals are clicking, but the clock is ticking. Don't miss the deals on your favorite wheels, because now the place is jumping.
To an awful lot of people, the Sunday Chicago Tribune is simply the best source of news and perspectives on the news.
It has very far-reaching implications.
To others, the best sports paper.
Chunkier this season, too.
Yeah. So are you, sweet cakes.
For many, it's the Midwest's largest shopping guide.
I'm not really keen on
For just about anything. The Sunday Tribune is different things to different people.
What's that, a crossword puzzle?
So what's the best reason to read it? You have to find that out for yourself.
Just holding it for you.
Give me a light. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light.
Bud Light.
Hey, thanks.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Can I have a light?
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
College Street Youth Services.
That's the hotline to hilarity.
We're gonna slaughter 'em.
Hang it in.
Beginning Monday at 4:30 on Channel 9.
With Steve Stone, Harry Carey, we're back at Wrigley Field going to the bottom of the third with the top of the batting order coming up. Davey Lopes will open with a single, takes the first pitch outside. There's a young lady, Cindy Berkey, wishing a happy wedding anniversary to her grandparent. So a happy 50th to Mr. and Mrs. Lester Hike from Valparaiso, Indiana. 1-1 pitch. 2 balls and a strike.
Davey loves to hit the ball up around the letters. If Mailer gets the ball up there, Lopes is going to hit it hard somewhere.
A high fly ball, center field. Murphy drifting back to make the catch. Well, there's a case you don't have to hit the ball very hard today. That'll reflect how strong the wind is. Murphy wound up having to drift back for what looked like it was going to be softly hit. But the wind took it a long way. Paul and Linda Patton celebrating their 5th wedding anniversary here. They're from Crown Point, Indiana. Well, they got 2 more years to go before the itch. It's at the end of 7 years, they say, things begin to get a little hectic. 1 out, nobody on.
Harry, does that hold true with your 3rd wife as well as your first 2?
No, we just went for 11 now. We're all right. But I tell you, if my first 2, I went beyond 7. Here's a ground ball, deep short. Ramirez will throw him out, and he does. Here's Sandberg. It was his 3-run shot, which is the difference. He belted it into the bleachers. Ryno with 4 homers now, 25 RBIs. One ball, no strikes. Greetings to Joe. One of those in wheelchairs enjoying the game behind home plate. A little pop foul. Harner chasing a no play. A ball and a strike.
You know, Willie Mays used to tell me, Harry, if he hit a home run on a curveball against a certain pitcher, the next time up, in any situation where he had to get him out, he'd look for a fastball and try to hit another one, because he felt if he took the guy's curveball out of the park, he had to throw him something else. And more times than not, it helped him out.
That makes a little sense. There's a pitch a little bit low. Fastball in there for a strike call. Peter Giannopoulos, 7 years old, here with his grandparents watching the game. There's a drive. Might get out of here. And down! His second home run of the day. Ryne Sandberg. Boy, this was a bullet of a line drive, and True Value Hardware comes up with another $100 to Cubs Care and Northwestern Memorial Hospital. Boy, oh boy, gets a stopwatch out, and time this home run, Arnie. I bet it didn't take a half a second from the time it hit his bat till it landed in the bleachers.
And Harry, I think he did indeed hit a fastball that time. It looked like it was down and on the inner half. Arnie will show it again, and we'll see exactly the pitch and location.
Here's a pitch away now. Here it is.
Fastball, inner half. See you later. It gets out in a hurry, even in slow motion.
What'd you time it at, Arnie? A ball and a strike. 2 out. 4-0 Cubs. We're going to show you the time on this home run. Was that 7/10 of a second? Here's a little tap. Ramirez will throw him out, and he does. 1 run, 1 hit, another homer by Sandberg. Wayne Stats will be joining Steve in a moment. Harry Carey from Wrigley Field at the end of 3. It's Sandberg 4, Braves nothing.
Reminisce with Barbra Streisand and Robert Redford in The Way We Were, tonight at 11:30 on Channel 9.
From her first job as a real estate secretary, Mary Bame's drive and determination brought her success in several different careers. Today, as president, she's revitalizing the Plywood, Minnesota chain. Her bank, the Harris.
I feel like Harris is on my side. When I go nationwide, they'll be there for me. Harris is the bank that I can grow with.
Strong, responsive, innovative, professional. The Harris. Move up to the banking line.
Memorial Day is the time for parades, flag waving, and great savings in the Memorial Day circular from True Value Hardware Store. Like a Green Thumb reinforced vinyl hose, only $9.44. And True Seal waterproofing coating, $7.98 a gallon. Get a Master Electrician extension cord for only $7.77, and True Test XO rust enamel for only $2.78 at participating True Value Hardware Store.
Did you ever notice how sometimes with unleaded regular gasoline, even your new car can feel like an old clunker? All that knocking and pinging can wither your youthful enthusiasm quickly. But there is a gasoline that can prevent all that. Super 76, a premium unleaded.
Fill her up, Sonny.
It's got the kind of high-octane performance that can help prevent cars from aging prematurely.
The Spirit of 76.
An official sponsor of the Liberty Centennial.
New faces and sad goodbyes on the next Fame.
Saturday afternoon at 1:30 here on Channel 9.
Steve Stone along with Dwayne Stats to take you through the middle. And so far, Ryne Sandberg has been a one-man gang.
Well, after hitting only 1 home run all month coming into this ball game, 2 today is not bad.
Ryne Sandberg taking care of all the scoring for the Cubs off Rick Sutcliffe, or rather Rick Mailer.
And Sandberg is starting to hit for power, something that Jim Fry wanted him to do. He knew that he was hitting the ball well. He wanted him to hit for power, especially in the middle of that lineup. And he couldn't have asked for anything more than today. And there you see the numbers on Scott Sanderson. He's been very good through 3 innings. 3 bases on balls, 3 strikeouts. And he faces Gerald Perry in the top of the 4th. Perry popped up to Sandberg to end the 1st inning. Only 22 at-bats this year for the Braves after being called up from AAA, where he terrorized the AAA pitchers. Off-speed pitch misses away.
Terrorized is exactly right. He was hitting .438 down there.
High chopper to Durham. Sanderson over to cover. The little flip, and he gets him out. And Scotty did something that I don't want any of the young pitchers to do out there. He crossed over the line after making the putout, and Gerald Perry was a gentleman. But some base runners will run right up your back.
And of all the pitchers you'd at least like to see that happen to, it would be Sanderson with his history. You'd like to see that pitcher get out of the way there and cut inside.
Rafael Ramirez hit the ball hard in the 2nd inning, lining out to Jerry Mumphrey in center. And he takes a fastball up high. Ramirez 2 home runs, 14 RBIs. He's got some surprising power. Good slider over the outside corner for a strike. He's had some periodic elbow problems during the course of the last couple of years, but he's healthy now. Good cut and fouls it back. 1-2 count on Ramirez. Ozzie Virgil on deck. Willie Stargell, the coach at first. Russ Nixon, the coach at third. Off-speed curveball, and the count evens at 2-2. Little pop-up. Leon Durham taking a look at it down the right field line, and it falls foul.
Cubs fortunate there because Moreland wasn't going to catch up to that ball even had it been fair. And Ramirez was standing on second base, just now realizing the ball was foul.
You know, Dwayne, it shows you what attitude can do for a club. Here's a team that languished last year. Chuck Tanner came over, and now this ball club is in contention.
You know what he did? He brought some new faces with him as well. You know, they have a new look with Bobby Cox, their general manager, and of course Chuck Tanner, their new manager. But he also has, well, at least 8 new faces with Virgil. He has Simmons, Billy Sample on this club now, Omar Moreno. There's Willie Stargell coaching at first. David Palmer, Dwayne Ward, Andres Thomas, and Paul Ossenmacher.
Foul back once again, and the count holds at 2-2.
So when you're talking about a 24-man roster, that's a pretty good turnover right there.
33% any way you look at it. But he kept a good nucleus. You know, you've got Hubbard and Murphy and Horner. You have some guys who can play. And he just added a piece here and a piece there, trying to fit together a 24-man puzzle. Fouled off once again. Good piece of hitting by Ramirez. He knew he couldn't hit the ball hard. He just wanted to spoil a pretty good pitch by Sanderson. And there's a look at the skipper, Chuck Tanner. Brought over a new attitude, a sunny disposition, and he has his Braves on the right track. Probably the most positive manager in the game. On this side of the Mississippi, Tommy Lasorda would qualify on the western side of the Mississippi. Line drive right field. Keith Moreland right there, and he makes the catch.
That was a slicing line drive by Ramirez, slicing back toward Moreland. He got over there and made the grab.
Well, I hope it evens out for Ramirez when he leaves Chicago. They say if you keep hitting the ball hard, something's going to happen. He's lined out twice. And Ozzie Virgil comes up. He struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. If you keep the breaking ball away from Virgil, he's not going to hurt you too much. But he's got a whole lot of power on the inner half of the plate. Fastball misses down. Scott Sanderson threw the ball very well last time out against the Astros. He threw a lot more hard stuff, and he's doing the same thing today. He threw a lot of slow breaking balls in the first inning, but he's gone to the slider and fastball since then. Pops it straight up. Jody Davis giving it a look, and it's back in the seats.
And we commented about that the other day, and the fact that Sanderson has probably as good of arm as any of the starters on the Cubs staff. And it's a good idea for him to utilize that arm a little bit more than he was earlier in the year.
Lou Boudreau has a lot of fans around. They were concerned about his dental work and how he was feeling. How is he feeling?
He's back in fine form today.
Great. That's good to hear. 2-1 count on Ozzie Virgil. There's the good kid, looking healthy and fit as ever. Might still have a couple games in him at shortstop. Sanderson falls behind, 3-1. Glenn Hubbard on deck. Only one base hit for the Braves. That a single by Omar Moreno, and that of the infield variety. He walked him, ball 4. Walk number 4 issued by Sanderson. Mike Marshall, the Buffalo Grove boy, is putting together a 15-game hitting streak for the Dodgers. Hit a home run yesterday. That's the longest hitting streak of Mike Marshall's career. So he's doing a pretty good job despite the fact that the Dodgers are really struggling this year.
Well, Hubbard is due, but Chuck Tanner is going to go to the bench early this afternoon, and Ted Simmons, who throughout his career in the National League has pretty much been a one-man wrecking crew against the Cubs, will pinch hit for Hubbard.
This is a surprise early in the ball game. Hopefully Hubbard is okay physically. Teddy Simmons hitting .250, 4 for 13 as a pinch hitter with 6 RBIs.
You know, with the development of Andres Thomas at shortstop, this gives Chuck Tanner the ability to pull this move right here, because he can move Oberkfell to second, Ramirez to third, and insert Andres Thomas in at shortstop.
Simmons did some pitching yesterday against the AAA club, threw 1 inning, retired them on 7 pitches. He thinks he might be able to go to the mound late in his career. Takes a fastball up and away. Simmons an outstanding switch hitter. He doesn't have enormous power. He's always been a line drive hitter. They got him from Milwaukee. A dependable man on the bench. Good fastball over the inside corner. Count evens at 1-1. Leon Durham playing behind Ozzie Virgil at first.
Situation where when Sanderson got behind Virgil, he didn't want to give in to him. Virgil has hit up around 300 lifetime off Sanderson. Hubbard had hit about 230 off him, and Chuck Tanner has lifted Hubbard.
Straight change misses. 2-1 count on Ted Simmons. He was an outstanding hitter with the St. Louis Cardinals. He hit in spurts for the Milwaukee Brewers. Line drive down the line. Ozzie Virgil rounds second. It goes all the way to the wall. Virgil without the good speed. He's being held up at third base on a pinpoint throw to Jody Davis. Good relay by Sandberg and a wise choice by Russ Nixon.
Fortunately for the Cubs, the Braves didn't have a lot of speed on the bases. Moreland hit Sandberg, and Sandberg threw a strike with a relay throw to the plate.
You know, Ozzie Virgil held up between first and second, and I don't know why. There's 2 outs. He was not running hard to second base, and that might have cost him the run.
Here's a perfect strike to the plate by Ryne Sandberg.
Now a good hitting pitcher in Rick Mailer comes up with runners at second and third. Cubs lead 4-0, but the Braves are threatening. Mailer popped up to shortstop in the 3rd inning. Fouls back a fastball. Mailer hitting .267, no home runs, but 3 RBIs. And he said he's been reading about the Cub pitchers hitting the ball out of the ballpark. especially Dennis Eckersley. He says maybe the ball's traveling a little bit better in Wrigley Field. Mailer's hit the ball very well against the Cubs, especially to right and right center. Swings at another high fastball, fouls it back. So Mailer in a hole, 0-2. You know, there was a rash of guys starting to throw the ball who aren't used to the mound. Vance Law got to pitch an inning for Montreal, and he got out Tony Gwynn, and Gwynn said it was the most embarrassing moment of his career.
Yeah, but what they clocked the fastball at, about 85, 86?
86 miles an hour. Not bad for a second baseman converted to a pitcher for a brief period. 0-2 count on Mailer. Tries to get him to swing at that high fastball. 1-2. Good quick slider ought to retire Mailer in this situation. Let's see what Sanderson decides to go to. He does have that slow curveball, but he hangs that pitch on occasion. There's the sign from Jody Davis. Sets up inside. Off the glove. Sandberg over, fires to first, and he gets in. So 1-4-3, and the Cubs are out of it. One hit, no runs, no errors, 2 left. End of 3.5. Cubs on top, 4-0.
Here comes Private Benjamin.
You're going to survive with me. You're going to get better or get out.
I'm dead. Notify my next of kin because it's over.
She's not your typical soldier.
She also happens to be a woman.
We shake up the entire United States Army. We make history.
This can't be happening.
Private Benjamin begins Monday night at 6 on Channel 9.
McDonald's presents Happy Pail, Happy Meal. 5 different pails to choose. Happy Pails for kids to fill. And fill.
And Phil.
And fill.
Just buy your child a hamburger.
Us chicken McNuggets. Soft drink and French fries. The way the kids like us in the regular size. It's a good time. For the great taste of McDonald's.
All other buckets pale by comparison.
A portion of the proceeds from every Happy Pail Happy Meal goes to support Ronald McDonald House.
Watching an adventure movie on a VCR? Terrific. But you're only hearing half the fun until you hear Zenith's Hi-Fi Stereo VCR. With stereo sound so real, it's like being there. You can even tune in and record stereo TV broadcasts. Zenith's VHS Hi-Fi Stereo VCR.
Look out! Quicksand, old boy.
One of the smart VCRs. Zenith, smarter than ever.
Bumping the Olsen wheel. I got 35 millimeter dream. 35 millimeter dream.
Orson Welles Week begins Monday, June 2nd at 11:30 on Channel 9.
A beautiful day at Wrigley Field, and Leon Durham to lead off the bottom of the 4th.
There's Ken Oberkfell. He switches from third base to second base, and Ted Simmons will remain in the ball game. And Simmons will take over at third base.
Now we want to pass along birthday wishes to Darren Fuji, and a happy birthday also to John Brockup. Leon Durham to lead off the 4th. He struck out swinging in the first inning. Outfield straight away and deep for Leon. On a day with the wind blowing out toward right. And he crowds him with a fastball, 1-0. Fouls it off 1-1. Ted Simmons does not have the greatest mobility in the world at third base. You have to wonder if defense is going to come back to haunt the Braves. He's an outstanding hitter, and no doubt that 4 runs down, Chuck Tanner wants his bat in the lineup. But you wonder if the Cubs are going to try to bunt the ball on him. After all, he has been a catcher the majority of his career. Good slider over the inside corner. The Bulls in a hole, 1-2. Just missing low and in. Count evens at 2-2. Right back, and it hits Mailer. Stays with it, fires to first, and gets him. And now they'll check on the physical condition of Rick Mailer.
I think he's going to be all right. He's walking it off right now. You know, Chuck Tanner said about Mailer, he's the kind of guy that all the young pitchers should idolize. He said, you know, it's not every guy who can throw 100 miles an hour or thereabouts like Dwight Gooden. He said most young pitchers are in the same category that Rick Mailer finds himself, and he does it on guile.
Kraft and Guile, I remember them. I graduated with them.
Great comedy team, right?
There'll be a youth clinic here tomorrow, sponsored by Mountain Dew and Burger King. Gates open at 1:05. The first 5,000 youngsters will get some instructions from some Cubs players. Should be a nice day here at Wrigley. Jerry Mumphrey looks at a sinker over the outside corner. He bounced out third to first in the first inning. Fastball catches the inside corner. And Mailer's on top of Mumphrey, 0-2. Jerry hitting .295 lifetime against the Braves. Outfield straight away for him. Deep in all fields. Gerald Perry especially deep in left field. Just missing low and in. Jody Davis on deck. He pans around to show you the defense. Off-speed pitch, line drive, and Oberkfell spears it.
He hung that one out there a little bit on the outside part of the plate. Mumphrey pulled it right to Oberkfell. Seen the ball hang out there, but Mumphrey was out in front and lined it to the second baseman.
The start of this man has been unbelievable. Last year at this time, he had 3 home runs, 16 RBIs, and he'd thrown out 8 runners out of 46 attempts on the bases. This year, 9, 25, and Jody Davis has thrown out 27 of 54 base runners, so he's right at 50%. There's only 2 teams in the National League that have a 50% or better record. Pittsburgh and the Cubs, Tony Pena and Jody Davis. Fouls that one off, and so like every hitter this inning, Rick Mailer is on top, 0-2. Only man who's broken through against Mailer has been Sandberg, who's hit 2 home runs and is responsible for all 4 Cub runs. One and 2 count on Jody.
Mailer's given up 11 home runs now for the year. The Cubs have 4 of them, I think. They hit 2 off him in Atlanta.
Strike 3, good slow curveball. So 3 up and 3 down for Rick Mailer, and we're through 4 with the Cubs on top, 4-0.
Another sizzling summer's coming. It's time to stock up on the cool, crisp taste of Budweiser and Bud Light. So pick a pair of 6-packs, 12-packs, or even cases, and look for our special pick-a-pair offer wherever you see this display. Then send for a Fun in the Sun umbrella for 2.
Pick a pair of 6-packs. Wouldn't you?
Like to own a front-wheel drive action machine?
Wouldn't you?
Sticker priced from as low as $80.54? You can with the spirited Buick Skyhawk Coupe. or test drive the racy new Skyhawk Sport Hatchback. Plus, get 6.9% GMAC financing on every Skyhawk in stock. Length of finance contract is limited. See your Chicagoland, Northern Indiana, better Buick dealer.
Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick?
I've always been afraid of two things, flying and good cameras. But with this Canon T70, I'm not afraid. This push-button T70 is so easy to use, I can even get the tough shots, like backlit shots. Stop! Take action shots. Bang! I can even use the zoom. Boom!
The Canon T70, so advanced it makes the tough shots simple.
I'm fearless now. Ooh!
Enter the Canon Photo Contest and win an adventure trip on the Salmon River. Details at Canon dealers.
A participating advertiser in Cubs baseball is the Ameritech Bell Yellow Pages, published by Donnelly Directory.
As a reminder, Cub fans, be sure and stop by participating Unical 76 stations to get an action color photograph. This week, this afternoon's Cub pitcher Scott Sanderson is featured, so stop in today.
Baseball, of course, is a team game, but it's played on individual statistics. Basketball's the same way, Dwayne, and I don't know if you saw any of the Celtics' last two games.
Well, they've been devastating.
But I will tell you one thing. I have never seen a team, and I'll put an emphasis on team, play with 5 men playing as one. Now, they have a superstar in Larry Bird, but that team seems to know what everyone's doing. The teamwork of the ball club is just amazing, and I think it's a great lesson for all sports fans. Just watch this ball club, and you can see what a well-coached team can play like if they all play together. They're individual players, but with an unselfish attitude and only one goal, and that's winning. They have been unbelievable. It's just been a pleasure to watch. Omar Moreno to lead off the 5th inning. A walk in the first, a single in the 3rd. Down the line. It's a fair ball, and Moreno's going to round first. He'll go for at least 2. Moreland will have to hustle. He gets the ball back in, and Omar Moreno continues to pull the ball with good success against the Cubs.
Well, that's his 8th double of the year. He had a great series against the Cubs in Atlanta. There's a pitch out over the plate, a little bit to the outside part of the plate that time, and Moreno, who was 7 out of 12 against the Cubs in Atlanta, has been on base all 3 times today with 2 hits and a walk.
We talked about it earlier, but he's changed his hitting style. He used to hit the ball to the off field all the time. Now he's starting to pull everything. So the Cubs might have to rearrange their defensive alignment against Moreno. Ken Oberkfeld's 0 for 2. Little looper to right field. It's going to fall. Moreland will get the ball back in. It's cut off by Durham. And Moreno had to hold up. He didn't know what Moreland would do, so he only makes it to 3rd. But Scott Sanderson is in trouble here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, Moreno not sure if that ball would carry out to Moreland or not. As it turned out, it fell in. And now Scott Sanderson will get a quick visit here. Billy Connors wants to chat with Terry Tata. Now, I don't know if Connors is telling Tata that he wants to check Sanderson over physically to make sure he's all right.
I think that's exactly what he's going out to find out. We don't know what's wrong with Sanderson.
Jay Baller is starting to loosen in the bullpen as Connors talks it over with Scott out there.
Looks like a blister.
Yep.
A lot of times pitchers will develop blisters because they grab a whole lot of their pitches on the seams of the ball. And Scotty says he's okay, but Jay Ballard does continue to heat up in a hurry. So with a 4-run lead, no pitcher wants to come out of a ball game 1 inning shy of qualifying for a win. And now it looks like Jim Fry also wants Ray Fontenot to get loose. He motioned with the left hand. So let's see if Ray starts getting up and ready.
Meanwhile, Sanderson not only will have to fight the developing blister, but he has the middle part of the Atlanta order coming up.
Dale Murphy's walked twice, 8 home runs, 23 RBIs, as you see. He's the heart and soul of this batting order, and you can't pitch around him in this situation. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Breaking ball misses outside. What happens when you do have a blister, you can throw the fastball okay, but you have problems with the curve and the slider because they're touch pitches. And if you don't have the good feeling on the end of your fingertips, you're going to hang a breaking ball, and it's going to be 4-3. Gets one up in the eyes of Murphy, and he fouls it straight back. I was always told, Dwayne, when a man fouls a ball straight back, it means he was right on the pitch, and you're going to have to make an adjustment. If he hits the ball off the end of the bat and fouls it to the right or left side, you fooled him. But straight back means he's missed by about 1/4 of an inch of hitting the ball right on the nose. One and one count on Murphy. Just missing inside, 2-1 with Bob Horner on deck. Outfield straight away, and I don't think Jerry Mumphrey could get any deeper unless he stood in the bleachers. He misses again, 3-1, and he's quite obviously having trouble with his control and location. So his hand must be bothering him. And this is the pitch you have to be very careful with Murphy. Throws the fastball by him, and the count goes full.
Well, Sanderson, with his back to the wall there, challenged him. He threw that one by him. He threw a fastball by Horner earlier in the ball game. Let's see what he does. 3-2 with Murphy here.
Strike 3. He got him a blazing fastball.
Boy, there's a big strikeout indeed. Sanderson reaching back. He had that little extra there, and he got Dale Murphy.
And that's the pitch that you can still throw with a blister on your finger, so he might want to go a little more with the fastball than the slow breaking pitches. And another dangerous hitter, Bob Horner. 0 for 2, struck out and flied out. Off-speed pitch for a strike. Now you've got a good double play man. He's grounded into 6 double plays this year to lead this Braves ball club in that dubious distinction. Ground ball to short. This could be 2. Over to second for 1. Back to first. Sanderson is out of it. End of 4½. Cubs still lead 4-0.
Street, the Dow closed up 3.6. Transport up 2. Utilities
The preceding 24.5 cents worth of electricity is brought to you each morning by Commonwealth Edison.
Forging, fitting up, hand finishing. Exacting standards that say nothing is complete until it's right. One beer is brewed with these same values. Budweiser. The most expensive ingredients. Exclusive beechwood aging for a clean, crisp taste. Because this Bud's for you.
This game is brought to you in part by Church's Fried Chicken.
Shawon Dunston to lead off. And Terry Tata decides that he did indeed swing. Shawon struck out swinging in the second inning. Tries to check his swing again. The appeal to first base, no, and the count evens at 1-1. Dunston has hit the Braves pretty well. 323 lifetime. Off the end of the bat. Horner's got it. He'll flip to Mailer. Just barely beating Dunston, who is hustling down the line all the way. And you gotta love the fact that this man runs hard on everything.
We're getting out of the top of the 5th inning for Scott Sanderson. The key was that strikeout of Murphy, emphasized when Horner grounded into the double play, because once he got Murphy, he got him with fastballs. He had Horner thinking a little bit about that fastball, but threw him the breaking stuff to get the ground ball.
Sanderson looks at a fastball up. He popped up to Ozzie Virgil to end the 2nd. Swing and a miss. Oh. 1-1. Missing again. 2-1 count on Sanderson. Davy Lopes on deck. He fouled it off, and the count evens at 2-2. Well, with Sandberg's 2 home runs today, the Cubs now have 44. And if you're playing the Pepsi Chicago Cubs home run countdown game, you could be a winner. You match the number on Pepsi caps or inside the bottom of Pepsi cans to the number of Cubs home runs hit by the All-Star break. You can win $10,000 in cash or some cars. Ground ball to shortstop. Ramirez on the big hop fires across, and he gets him. 2 up and 2 down. Well, there'll be another father and son team of Major League Baseball players, although the father is retired. Barry Bonds from Arizona State is due to start tonight against the Dodgers. He'll be playing center field for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I played with his father, Bobby Bonds, an outstanding outfielder in his time, a former Cub. And we've got to wish Barry Bonds all the best of luck on what I think is the best career a young man could have. Davy Lopes is 1 for 2. He singled and scored a run in the 1st inning, flied out to center field in the 3rd. Lopes hitting .257 lifetime against the Braves, and he has been one hot Cub since being inserted in the lineup 4 games ago. Looks at a high fastball. Line drive center field. Murphy coming on, and he can't get to it. Base hit. Davy Lopes is 2 for 3.
And that base hit for Lopes gets the Cubs down to Gary Matthews, a fellow who's had a lot of success against Rick Mailer, including a home run down in Atlanta earlier this year off Mailer.
Jim Fry will have a decision to make whether to let Gary Matthews swing the bat early in the count or let Davy Lopes try to steal. He's got a stolen base today. Ozzie Virgil has had some problems throwing the ball. Let's see what he decides to do. Takes a fastball for a strike. Virgil says when he gets into a slump throwing, it's not anything he does with his arm, it's footwork. He said footwork is the most essential thing for any catcher. One and one count. Lopes faked as if to go and went back. Sarge walked and scored ahead of the Sandberg home run in the 1st inning. Grounded to shortstop in the 3rd. He fouled it off. Ozzie gives it a look, but it's well back in the crowd. Mailer has pitched very well against the Cubs and very poorly against Ryne Sandberg. Sandberg 2 for 2, both of them home runs, 4 RBIs. Ryne now has 5 home runs and 26 RBIs for the year. Matthews steps out. The hits are tied at 4, but the Cubs lead on the scoreboard 4-0. Throw to first base. It gets away. Davy Lopes can go all the way to 3rd. He rounds second base. Here he comes. No chance to get him at 3rd. And Horner gets the ball back in. So it'll be an error on Rick Mailer, allowing Davy Lopes to go from 1st to 3rd.
Take a look at Lopes isolated here on the bad pickoff attempt. Horner had no chance to come up with that throw, nor to get in front of it. And Lopes, with his great speed, moves over to third.
On that play, you got to pick up the third base coach as you near second. The play is behind you, and Don Zimmer was waving Davy Lopes all the way. Off-speed pitch, good block by Ozzie Virgil. Davy Lopes got a big lead at third. Mailer has got to be careful.
Yeah, a good stop by Virgil is right. He's not known to be a good blocker of pitches in the dirt. He's had some problems with that, but he came up with a stop there.
2-2 count on the Sarge. 2 outs, Davy Lopes at third base. Cubs trying to add to that 4-run lead. Line drive, fair ball. Matthews rounds first. He's on his way to second, and he'll be in with an RBI double.
Well, Matthews continues to swing the bat very well against Rick Mailer. That's his 4th double of the year. Mailer hung the breaking pitch out there over the plate, and Matthews ripped it by third.
And they're going to walk Sandberg. They don't want to see 3 home runs and 3 at-bats. Ozzie Virgil gives a sign to Mailer, and the fans here in Wrigley Field, a tremendous chorus of boos for the strategy of Chuck Tanner. You can hardly blame him, though.
Well, the Cubs have picked up the run here in the 5th. They'd like to get a couple more with the grandstand shadow creeping out between the mound and the plate, and with Sanderson showing some problems with that blister. A few more runs wouldn't hurt here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Chuck Tanner motioned to Ozzie Virgil to go out to talk with Rick Mailer. The bullpen is busy. And Keith Moreland coming up. Moreland's 0 for 2. He flied out and grounded out. And Keith said he's really been struggling. He's not seeing the ball well. He said he's been pulling out, throwing that left shoulder out, and just pulling off the ball. Pretty good numbers for a guy that's not hitting the ball like he can.
That's Craig McMurtry, the right-hander, loosening in the bullpen for the Atlanta Braves.
Moreland hitting .286 against the Braves lifetime. 2 on, 2 out. Cubs already on top 5-0. Breaking ball misses down. And a 3:05 game. You like to score early and get as many runs on the board as you can. As Dwayne said, it becomes pretty difficult to see. Knocks him down with the fastball. 2-0 count on Moreland. And I've seen Keith, after getting knocked down, not say too much, but come back roaring. Only way to get back at a pitcher is to hit the ball hard somewhere, and this just increases Keith's concentration. Fouled it straight back. 2-1. You're watching exciting Chicago Cubs baseball over WGN TV Channel 9 Chicago, America's #1 sports station, where tonight at 9 you'll see the news. Cubs would love to get back at the Braves. They were swept in Atlanta. They lost all 3 games in the previous series. They'd like to return the compliment here at Wrigley Field. Strike 2, caught the outside corner. Keith Moreland now engulfed in shadows. Rick Mailer in bright sunlight. 2-2 count. Fouled off once again.
Moreland protecting the plate there, fighting that pitch off. He does that about as well as any hitter in the National League. When you get to 2 strikes on him, he can defeat a lot of good pitches made by the opposing hurler.
Matthews at second, Sandberg at first. Leon Durham on deck. And Terry Tata calls timeout. So Moreland is going to be retired, but he's going to get another shot at it. Gerald Perry doesn't know quite what to do as he looks at Dale Murphy. Tata had called timeout. And Moreland will get another life, and he's a pretty happy Cub right now.
I don't know what that was all about. I don't know who called for time.
Well, the most important thing was Terry Tata called for time. So now Keith might get the luxury of going 1 for 2 in the same at bat, but only having the hit count. Ball 3. Runners will be going. That means Sandberg can score from first on a double. Outfield straight away. Full count on Moreland. Runners go. Ball 4, walk in.
Mailer really wanted that pitch. Threw him the off-speed pitch. He thought it maybe picked up the corner, but Terry Tata said it was inside.
Tough decision for Chuck Tanner. Leon Durham has hit 4 home runs lifetime against Rick Mailer. He's 0 for 2 today, has not hit the ball hard, struck out and tapped out. And with the bases loaded, he's got a chance to pretty much ice this ball game. Slider for a strike on the inside corner. Jerry Mumphrey on deck. And Ozzie Virgil, for some reason, doesn't like that pitch. The Bull has hit very well against the Braves during the course of his career. .325 coming into this one.
You could see why Virgil wouldn't like that pitch if it were out over the plate a little bit. Fortunately for Mailer, it was inside, just under the fist on the inside corner. But hang that pitch out over the plate, and it's trouble.
Threw the fastball by him. Leon in a hole 0-2. Missing inside 1-2. The Cubs have not stranded a base runner today. Two and 2. Call. But the Cubs get a run on 2 hits. There was an error and 3 left. And at the end of 5 full innings, the Cubs are on top 5-0.
This place is jumping. Toyota's jumping. Just a few more days for you to stay because the place is jumping.
It's Toyota's biggest sales event, but this is the last weekend to get incredible deals on America's #1 selling import. So jump on in before time runs out.
The deals are clicking, but the clock is ticking. Don't miss the deals on your favorite wheels, cause now the place is jumping. I need a vacation. Technical update. Like nobody's business. That's a technical. I need a vacation. I'll show you a technical. Just give me those friendly skies.
This summer, you need the airline with low fares to more places. The biggest bargain airline in the land, United.
I got a vacation.
Be cool, boys.
And I'm not just flying.
Hello, fare. Nice tipping.
I'm flying a vacation in the friendly skies.
52, Clifford. This Pepsi Cubs home run countdown could win us a new Chevy Z24 and $10,000. And all we got to do to enter is match the Pepsi number to the number of Cub home runs at the All-Star break. Hey, Marlins up. 53.
Play the Pepsi-Cola Chicago Cubs home run countdown today.
Did you guys see a ball in here? No.
Soon I will be the fastest human on Earth. And with that fame will come fortune.
There's another way to get rich quick. Play Lotto.
Steve Stone, along with Dwayne Statz and Arnie Harris, a producer-director, taking you through the middle here in Wrigley Field. And we'd like to wish congratulations to Bob and Karen Kroll, who were married this morning and are attending today's game in the right field bleachers before heading off on their honeymoon.
Couple with their priorities straight.
And Scott Sanderson is trying to show them a winner before they start their life together. Gerald Perry to lead off the top of the sixth. He's 0 for 2. He popped up and grounded out. The bullpen is not going for the Cubs, so apparently the blister problem for Sanderson has settled down. But they will watch him carefully. It's a day in Chicago where you can put a lot of runs up on a board quickly. Perry with a couple of RBIs, no home runs since coming back from AAA. And he looks at a high fastball. He's been given a couple shots at the major leagues, both at first base and the outfield. He really hasn't hit consistently.
And defense has not been his strong suit.
2-0 count by Sanderson.
Especially in the outfield.
It's not an automatic transition from first base to left field. It's a tough situation. Ball 3. And Jim Fry has got to be concerned now as Sanderson, who is through 5 innings, has fallen behind 3-0. And there you can see Jim Fry and Billy Connors talking it over. If he walks this man, I'd expect to see the bullpen busy. Ball 4, he walked him. 4 straight bad ones. You see that sign by Jim Fry. He wants somebody to go and talk to Sanderson to give the bullpen a chance to get loose. And Ray Fontenot is getting up along with Jay Ballard.
That's 5 walks today by Scott Sanderson. And that's his high for the year in any one outing. Coming into this one, the most he had walked 3 against the Giants here at Wrigley Field on the 13th of this month.
You've got to be worried with Ramirez up. He's lined out twice, once to center and once to right, and he's crushed the ball both times. And he looks at a fastball down, so no 5 straight bad ones for Sanderson.
Well, Sanderson was in trouble as, you know, in the 5th inning, and he got a big strikeout of Murphy and then coaxed the double play ball out of Horner. But he's walking his way into a little spot here in the 6th.
Outfield very deep for Ramirez. There's a fastball for a strike.
Braves, of course, had Ramirez taking on that pitch. He's a fellow who doesn't take many pitches. He loves to swing the bat.
Chops it foul. Rafael is from the Dominican Republic, from San Pedro de Macorís, the cradle of Major League shortstops. 1-2 count on Ramirez. He's got surprising power. Only 2 home runs this year. He's a line drive hitter, but he can take you out of the ballpark. Fouled it off, protecting the plate.
Regarding his free swinging habits at the plate, last year Ramirez was the toughest man to walk in the National League. He walked only once every 30 times up.
Well, he's walked 3 times in 171 at bats this year, so he has not got any more selective. 3 walks. You'd think that could happen by accident. 1-2. Fly ball right field, well hit. Keith Moreland going back to the track. He's got room and he makes the catch. That That will bring up Ozzie Virgil. Struck out swinging in the second, drew a base on balls in the fourth. Russ Nixon's the third base coach for the Braves. I was talking to him before the game. I asked him if it was frustrating for him, being a one-time manager, to now be a coach. And he said he loves to instruct, and as a coach you get to do a lot of instructing. He said more so today you have to instruct major league players. They don't have the same amount of time in the minor leagues learning the game, so there is a lot of instruction on the major league level, something that Russ really enjoys doing. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. 0-1 on Virgil, and Craig McMurtry up once again as we get down closer to Rick Mahler's spot. Ted Simmons on deck. Simmons came on as a pinch hitter for Hubbard in the fourth inning, and he promptly doubled. Another breaking ball, and Virgil's having all kinds of trouble with a curveball today. One more curveball ought to about do it. Misses outside with a slider.
Virgil had been pulling off the ball as well. He said that's one of his problems, opening that front shoulder a little too soon. And it really leaves him susceptible to the breaking ball, especially down and away.
Curveball down and away, you've got to stay with it and hit it to right field. That's the best way to take a curveball. If you are pulling out, you're not going to make much contact.
Virgil's choked up on the bat here with 2 strikes.
Scott tries to surprise him with a fastball, but he takes it 2-2. Both bullpens busy. The Cubs have a right-hander and a left-hander up. Fontenot and Ballard. Pops it straight up. Davey Lopes crossing over into foul territory. Now he calls for it. Comes back into fair territory and makes the catch. He's had a couple of adventures on pop-ups today.
Well, the wind out of the west here at about 10 miles per hour. Davey had quite an adventure back in the first when he caught the pop-up by Ken Oberkfell back at third. And this time Ozzie Virgil pops out. That ball started in foul territory, wound up fair again.
That'll bring up Ted Simmons. He's done an outstanding job as a pinch hitter, 5 for 14 with 6 RBIs, and he doubled as a pinch hitter in the fourth. Man on first and 2 outs. We're in the top of the 6th inning. The Cubs lead 5-0. Fastball misses high. Terry Harper in the on-deck circle swinging a bat. So if Simmons can keep it alive, Sanderson will have to face Terry Harper. Changeup misses high. 2-0 on Simmons. Now Jim Fry comes sprinting, or his version of sprinting, out of the dugout, and he wants to talk with Sanderson.
I'll take a moment to wish a belated happy birthday to Ralph Ambrose in Kentwood, Michigan. And Dave Ennett of WGN Sports is celebrating his birthday today.
Aren't you going to sing happy birthday to him?
Not me. If you'd like to chime in, be my guest.
No, thank you. I will not inflict that on our viewers.
Someone said when Dave stopped by the booth a few innings ago, it's his birthday, he's 31, and they said he certainly looks it.
That was very nice. Well, Jim Fry has had his say. He wants to be careful that Sanderson doesn't groove a 2-0 pitch. He wants to find out about the physical condition of Scott Sanderson. And by now he realizes his bullpen is ready to go. So Gerald Perry leads away. And Sanderson has got to make a tough pitch to a tough hitter. There's a good look at Ted Simmons. Catching the outside corner. When I pitched against Simmons, I had all kinds of trouble, and Rick Russell said you're having problems because you're not throwing him the changeup away. So the first time I faced him in St. Louis, I threw him a changeup away. He whistled it by my ear into center field. I looked in the dugout. Russell was laughing at me. 2-1 count. Fastball misses down. And he's fallen behind Simmons, 3-1. Line drive right field. Keith Moreland right in his tracks, and he makes the catch. No runs, no hits, no errors, one left at the end of 5 1/2. The Cubs still hold a 5-0 lead.
Sox and Cubs highlights plus the memorable moments in sports on the 9 o'clock news.
Enter the 23rd century where man is divided by two worlds.
When we look at him, we look into our own hidden faces. Meditate on this.
One world dedicated to intelligence and harmony. Another dedicated to brutality and extermination. Sean Connery, Charlotte Rampling, Zardoz. Tonight at 7 on Channel 9.
For a picture-perfect yard, rely on quality lawn and garden supplies from True Value Hardware stores. Like this Lawn Chief 20-inch mower with a 3.5 horsepower engine. The Weed Eater gas trimmer cuts a big 15-inch path. For smooth, even shrubs, get the Black & Decker 16-inch hedge trimmer with double-edged blades. And carry dirt and debris in this Green Thumb 4 cubic foot wheelbarrow from participating True Value Hardware stores.
And now the Chicago Tribune's Tales from the Upper Deck.
You know, I've been wondering, how come there's no female Cubbies? Yeah. It says right here in the Trib that the Cubs have more female fans than any other team. Yeah. You know, if I was you guys, I'd go down there to Dallas Green. I say, hey, Dallas, how about let's put a woman on the team, huh? Yeah. Well, while you're down there, would you mind picking me up a Polish, please? Oh! Hey, what'd I say? What'd I say? Huh?
Don't miss special guest star Danny Thomas.
Say, is something wrong? I want to eat my meal in peace.
It's a living.
Saturday night at 6 on Channel 9.
We head into the bottom of the 6th inning, and Jerry Mumphrey steps up. He's 0 for 2. Hit the ball very hard last time, lining out to Ken Oberkfell at second base. Rick Mailer, the starter, still on the mound. And Mumphrey fouls a fastball back. Pretty good year for Mumphrey. He's getting an opportunity to play a whole lot more. Bobby Dernier has been slumping in center field, especially against right-handers. Mumphrey's been playing center. Strike 3 called. Fastball catches the outside corner. Mumphrey not too happy with the call of Terry Tata, but he's going to have to live with it.
Mumphrey just voicing his opinion. I'll tell you what, with an 0-2 count, Mailer really threaded the needle on that pitch.
5 strikeouts now for Rick Mailer. And Jody Davis steps up 0 for 2. Looks at a slider off the plate. Mailer's given up 5 hits and 5 runs. He's struck out 5. He's walked 3, one of them intentional. Curveball misses up. Ryne Sandberg's been the big hero, 2 home runs and an intentional pass, accounting for 4 of the 5 Cub runs. Jody checks his swing, the appeal to first base, and Jerry Crawford says yes. Fastball catching the outside corner, and the count evens at 2-2. Fouled off down the first baseline. Jody just protecting the plate. The last pitch was a fastball high and away, and Jody wasn't sure if this one was in the zone. So he just reached out, tapped it foul. Good curveball, strike 3. That looked like a videotape replay of Jody's at bat in the 4th inning when he looked at that slow curveball for strike 3. Now he's done it for the 2nd straight time.
Mailer making the kind of pitches here to Mumphrey and Davis that enabled him to win 17 games last year. That's vintage Rick Mailer right there, working to both Mumphrey and Jody Davis.
Shawon Dunston 0 for 2. A strikeout and a squibber off the end of the bat in the 5th inning. Curveball misses up. 32 decisions last year for Mailer. And that is a lot for any pitcher. He was 17 and 15. Fouled off down the 3rd baseline. 1-1 count on Dunston.
And a guy who just 2 years prior to that was looking for a spot in the major leagues. He wound up going back to Richmond and spending most of the season there, winning 12 games.
Ground ball up the middle. Off the glove of Ramirez, base hit. Dunston heading for 2. Here comes the throw. He's out at second. A single and thrown out. Harry's coming back. Dwayne, it's been a pleasure.
All right, hold him the rest of the way.
And at the end of 6, 5-0 Cubs.
Some days your job takes only 24 seconds. The most important 24 seconds of the race. It's the difference between winning and just being another car on the track. Nobody knows the sensation of winning better than Union 76, because we've fueled more winners than anyone ever.
That winning quality rides with you every time you ride out of a Union 76 station.
Go with the spirit.
Stick with the winner.
The spirit of 76.
What gives Slice that extra burst? Juice. We got the juice. We got the splash. A burst of taste in every glass. We got the juice. We got the twist. We got what's right and 7-Up mixed. 10% fruit juices. We got the juice. We got the blast. Slice, slice. We got the taste that no one has. So nice. We got the juice. Diet too. Slice, slice. Wouldn't you?
Like to beat the GM price increase on thousands of price-protected Buicks still in stock?
Couldn't you?
Use the hundreds of dollars you'll save with Buick's special value-added option packages.
Shouldn't you?
Check out how much you'll save in finance charges with GMAC financing as low as 5.9% on selected Buick models. Now, ask yourself.
Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick?
Length of finance contract is limited.
When they hit one over the fence at Wrigley Field, it's a TruLink fence. For hundreds of styles of residential, commercial, and industrial fencing, dial TRULINK.
A participating advertiser in Cubs baseball is Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. With Seastone Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. That's Bobby Cox, the general manager of the Atlanta Braves. You remember last year he was the field manager of the Toronto Blue Jays. And quite obviously, his work as manager there was far superior than Jimmy Williams must be this year, because last year they won the division under Cox, and this year they're in last place. Ray Fontenot is going to be the new pitcher. And Billy Sample is going to bat for Rick Mailer.
Fontenot 1-1, minuscule 1.38 ERA.
Here's a pitch swung on, a drive in the left field. Going back is the Sarge. Might be out of here. It is! Willie Sample hit Fontenot's first pitch into the basket in left field. And it's now 5-1. Boy, that Chuck Tanner, he brought Ted Simmons off the bench, and he doubled as a pinch hitter. He brings Sample off the bench, and he homers as a pinch hitter.
He's now 2 for 6 as a pinch hitter. That's his 4th home run, his 7th RBI. So Billy Sample gets the Braves on the board. Greg McMurtry will come in to relieve Rick Mailer when the Cubs go out in the 7th inning. And the bullpen is busy once again for the Cubs. Jay Baller up and throwing.
Terry Harper's going to be the pinch hitter now for Marino. And the first pitch is outside. Watch this home run. The Sarge is back there. And he jumps, and for a minute it looks as if he might starts to jump. But it's in the basket. A ball and a strike.
Harper hitting just .193 this year. 0 for 5 as a pinch hitter.
5-1 ball game. Two balls and a strike. Terry Harper. Ball 3 is low. And two things you don't want when you got a 5-run lead. First, a home run by the first man up, and second, a walk to the second man up. 3 balls and a strike. Strike on the outside corner. Randy Tent watching the game in Dallas. 3-2 on Terry Harper. Fontenot. Count remains 3-2. Three and two the count. The pitch. A high pop fly. Short right field will be caught. Moreland under it. So Harper flies out. That's one gone. That'll bring up Ken Oberkfell. He's 1 out of 3 today. The Therapeutic Recreation section of the Illinois Parks Association here in a big group today. 1 in, 1 out. Here's a fastball high.
Oberkfell is one of the left-handers that hit lefties as well as they do righties. He shortens his stroke, tries to go back up the middle.
He fouls it off and the count evens up. There's a group here from Ashland, Nebraska. A big weekend of baseball. Swung and he foul tip.
Here is today's paid attendance, 25,537,
25,537 paid. 1 and 2 the count. Struck him out. Jody dropped the ball, throws to first. 2 gone. Here's Dale Murphy.
He surprises Oberkfell. He's looking for a breaking ball, and he just freezes him. He takes a fastball over the inside corner. Now the easy flip to first retires him.
Here's the man who made maybe the key out of the ball game. With runners at first and second. In the 5th. He struck out on a 3-2 pitch over his head. That would have filled the bases with nobody out. Instead, he struck out, and then Harner rolled into a double play to end the inning. Fontenot's ahead of him now, 1 and 2. Fontenot's had a string of fine relief pitching. Was interrupted by Billy Sample's home run. I think he had gone 10 2/3 scoreless inning. Struck him out with a fastball. Murphy is caught out on strike. 1 run, 1 hit. No errors, nobody left. We go into the bottom of the 7th. Cubs leading 5-1. All right. Let me hear you good and loud. A 1, a 2, a 3,
yours, Mike.
In a dual role, Peter Sellers is the prisoner of Zenda.
Sunday night at 6:30 on Channel 9.
Well, speaking of weather, looks like it's gonna be a real scorcher. Temperatures headed way up into the 90s.
Pick a pair. Pick a pair. Pick a pair of six-packs.
Another sizzling summer's coming. It's time to stock up on the cool, crisp taste of Budweiser and Bud Light. So pick a pair of 6-packs, 12-packs, or even cases. And look for our special pick-a-pair offer wherever you see this display. Pick up a mail-in coupon and send for this fun-in-the-sun umbrella for 2. Well, what are you waiting for?
Pick a pair. Pick a pair. Pick a pair of six-packs. Bud.
Enter the 23rd century, where man is divided by 2 worlds. Sean Connery, Charlotte Rampling. Saturday night at 7 on Channel 9.
We go to the bottom of the 7th. McMurtry will be facing Ray Fontenot. Hey, base hit. Pass Simmons in the left field. Fontenot on the first pitch. Singles to left. That's my wife, Dutchie. She's really enthused with my singing, right? I think I put her to sleep, Arnie. Runner at first base. Hey, the other lady with her, his name is Nina Weinstein. She's a producer or writer or something for Bob Surratt's show, West 57th Street. Everybody remembers Bob Surratt. Employed here for, that's her right over Steve's shoulder there. Just scratching under the armpit.
McMurtry 1-2, 3.63 ERA, his 14th appearance.
Davey Lopes. Boy, he's got, his motto is 2 hits a day keeps the doctor away, and your name in Jim Fry's starting lineup. That's what he's been doing. We have Billy Sample in right field for the Braves. He pinch hit a home run. Hey, swings and he strikes him out. McMurtry had a good breaking slider that time.
Last year, McMurtry split his year between Richmond and Atlanta, 7-5 at Richmond. But a terrible year with the Braves, 0-3 with a high 6.60 ERA. A couple of years back, he showed great promise. The Braves thought he was going to be an outstanding starter, but he has struggled.
Here's Gary Matthews, doubled in a run his last time at bat. Remember, there used to be a catcher named McNertney. How would you like a battery of McMurtry and McNertney? 0-2 the count. Fontenot playing it safe at first base. A little high. The Sarge walked in the first and scored along with Lopes when Sandberg hit a 3-run homer, and then doubled in a run in the 5th. Ball is high. One thing about the Sarge, even if he's not hitting, he's got a good eye up at the plate, gets a lot of bases on ball. Ball 3. 3-2 the count. Full count. There goes the runner. Ball 4. We walked him. We're going to show you Sandberg's second home run again. There's the clock. 3.7 seconds from the time he swung until it landed in the bleachers. We're going to have Bobby Dernier running for the Sarge. Sandberg getting a tremendous ovation again.
They can't pitch around him in this situation. They intentionally passed him in the 5th inning, denying him the opportunity for his 3rd home run of the day. But with runners at 1st and 2nd, they have got to pitch to Sandberg.
When was the last time a Cub hit 3 homers in one game? When was the last time a Cub player hit 3 homers in one game? But you'd have to go back to Kingman, wouldn't you? 1 ball, no strikes. That evens it up at a ball and a strike. Well, I wish he'd hit one here so that we would get the answer to that question.
Well, Ned Coletti, who probably is not listening to the broadcast, usually supplies us with that kind of information.
1-1 pitch. Ooh, he had a good rip and he fouled it off.
Sandberg's had some great days, obviously, with his outstanding career. One that jumps out at you is the game where he hit 2 home runs against Bruce Sutter. And this one will have to go down if he can have a good at-bat this time.
1-2 the count. He ducked out of the way of a breaking ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A lot of great hitters have gone through long careers without hitting 3 homers in a single game. Ball inside, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see what the runner's going to do. Fontenot at 2nd. Dernier at 1st. Here's the pitch. Fouled it back, had a good cut.
Dernier's got to be careful he doesn't run up the back of Ray Fontenot at 2nd base. That time it looked like Fontenot was running, but Dernier wasn't with the pitch. Now let's see if they decide to send Fontenot again.
3-2. He struck him out. Sandberg goes down swinging. There's Moreland now. You know, until Dunston singled in the 6th and was thrown out trying to stretch it into a double, nobody under the 3rd place in the batting order had a hit. Lopes had 2. Matthews had 1. Sandberg had 2, and that was it. Now Fontenot batting 9th. Dunston hitting 8th with added hits. Moreland 0 for 2 today. There's a base hit. Here's Fontenot around 3rd. He's going to score. Thrown it towards the plate. Too late. Moreland singles the center. Driving in Fontenot. It's 6-1 now.
RBI number 21, and this is more like the Keith Moreland that we've come to know and love. A 2-out RBI. The throw hits the mound, and when it bounces up in the air, Fontenot is in easily. And the Cubs extend their lead.
That was Moreland's 21st run batted in. Ryne Sandberg leads the club now with 26. Here's Durham hitless so far today. High pop foul. Might be playable. Simmons makes the catch. Durham fouled to Simmons. 1 run in the inning. 2 hits. No errors, 2 left. At the end of 7, Cubs 6, Atlanta 1.
Sunday, June 1st is Backpack Day. All fans 13 and under receive a Cubs backpack, compliments of Slice and Pizza Hut.
presents Happy Pail, Happy Meal. 5 different pails to choose. Happy Pails for kids to fill. And fill.
And Phil.
And fill.
Just buy your child a hamburger.
Plus chicken McNuggets, soft drinks, and french fries. The way the kids like us in the regular size. It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
All other buckets pale by comparison.
A portion of the proceeds from every Happy Pail Happy Meal goes to support Ronald McDonald House.
For years, I've been recommending quality Winco patio doors for new homes, but today, I'm replacing my old patio door with this new Winco JX7 from Builders Square. It's designed to fit existing openings, and it has the beauty and insulation of solid wood construction. The double-glazed 5/8-inch thick insulating glass and the airtight foam-type compressed weather stripping make it a real energy saver. Best of all, it's only $2.97. You can't buy it for less. Builders Square guarantees it.
A square deal that's right for you.
You're a soldier now, Benjamin.
I know. Doesn't mean I'm dead, does it?
Private Benjamin begins Monday night at 6 on Channel 9.
Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. They're the fellows who have hit 3 homers in a game for the Chicago Cubs. Ernie Banks did it 3 times. Make that 4 times he did it. In 55, 57, 62, 63. Kingman did it 3 times. In 78, 79, twice in 79. Well, how about these famous names in Cub lore? Clyde McCullough did it in 1942. George Mitterwald did it in 74. Rick Monday in 72. And Moose Moran in 58. Bill Nicholson in 44. Andy Pafko in 50. Adolfo Phillips in 67. Henry Sauer did it twice. So quite a few Cubs have hit 3 homers in 1 game. Saw with 1 out. Here is Jerry Perry coming out.
I was with the Cubs when Mitterwald did it in 74. He did it very early in the year, and everybody thought he was going to be off to a great year. As it turned out, he didn't hit too many more that season.
There's a high hopper. Going to be tough to get him out. Oh, a nice try by Lopes, who fielded that high hopper barehanded and fired, but Perry beat it out.
This is a tough play for Davy Lopes. He knows he can't hesitate, so watch what happens. He just barehands the ball, picking it out of the air, and in the same motion, he throws to first base. And it's close, but they don't get him.
Close only counts in horseshoes, they say. Here's Ramirez, double play ball. Lopes to Sandberg, to Durham, and that's all in the 8th inning. How easy can it be? We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Cubs are leading 6-1.
Sox and Cubs highlights plus the memorable moments in sports on the 9 o'clock news.
Now people are trying to tell you that thin is where it's at. Oh, but when it comes to my Sunday paper, I want one that's big and fat. All those skimpy little papers, they just don't satisfy. That's why the Sunday Tribune is the only Sunday paper to buy. The Chicago Tribune, honey, get your Sunday's worth.
Making room to fit into your lifestyle. Turn it on, enjoy it every little mile.
Remember the great coupes of the past. Compare them to this, the Sabre Coupe from Buick. Shaped for the open road and backed by V6 performance with fuel injection. Buick's full-size front-wheel drive LeSabre Coupe. The great American coupe is back.
Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick?
What makes Diet Slice taste so good?
this with Barbara Streisand and Robert Redford in The Way We Were, tonight at 11:30 on Channel 9.
We go to the bottom of the 8th. Jerry Mumphrey will lead it off. Boy, that's a beautiful shot there of a magnificent city, Chicago.
And Ernie, it's a pleasure to be able to see it today after the fog we've had.
Well, Arnie's using the clear camera today. The other days he was using the fog camera. There's a high pop fly. Mumphrey will be retired. Dale Murphy hauls it in. Here's Jody Davis. All the hitting has been done by the top of the batting order. All the effective hitting. Cubs have only 8 hits, but they've scored 6 runs. Here's Jody. McMurtry throws a curve low. Birthday greetings to Zachary Camp, 8 years old today. Jody hits a one-hopper. Oberkfell throws him out. Here's Shawon Dunston. A group here from Hammond, Indiana, and also from Meridian, Mississippi. The Alexanders and the Birdsongs. 2 men around, nobody on.
And it is getting tough to see. You can tell the way guys swing at breaking balls. They're very tentative. They can't pick up the spin of the ball. And so as the ball dips low and away, they have very tentative swings.
He swings at a breaking ball and misses. The home plate area is very dark, and there are streaks of sunlight that make it even more difficult. Sidearm crossfire fastball. He's out on strike. 1-2-3 at the end of 8. Cubs are leading 6-1.
In the minors, you must have called it all 1,000 times. Then one day, you got the call.
What's this, rookie umpire?
Here's to you. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
Compliment for that gentleman.
This bar's for you.
For years, I've been recommending quality Winco patio doors for new homes, but today, I'm replacing my old patio door with this new Winco JX7 from Builders Square. It's designed to fit existing openings, and it has the beauty and insulation of solid wood construction. The double-glazed 5/8-inch thick insulating glass and the airtight foam-type compressed weather stripping make it a real energy saver. Best of all, it's only $2.97. You can't buy it for less. Builders Square guarantees it.
A square deal that's right for you.
And now, Church's Fried Chicken presents the Bucketheads.
Dad, can I clean my room?
No, dear.
Dad, can I get a paper route?
No, son.
Honey, can I pay too much for chicken in the bucket and get too little?
Sure.
Don't be a buckethead. Head to Church's and get bigger chicken that's crispy and juicy at a low Church's price. You won't get that in the bucket.
It's not easy being a buckethead.
Kick the bucket. Come to Church's.
The WGN Cubs Bumper Sticker Contest. You could be a winner. Watch this afternoon right after the Cubs game here on Channel 9.
A participating advertiser in Cubs baseball is the Chicago Tribune. A great city deserves a great newspaper. Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. We go into the 9th. Ossie Virgil will lead it off. He's 0 for 2 today. Fondo's first pitch. Right in there for a strike call. Longtime musician in WGN. Watching the game in Las Vegas, Leon Lichtenfeld. Another guy watching the game, even though he never worked for WGN. Watching in Las Vegas, our good friend, Bill Sullivan.
And Lee Smith gets up, starts throwing in case Ray Fontenot falls into some difficulty wrapping this one up.
2 balls into strike. Fontenot's breeze. Through 2 innings, he's an easy out here. Sandberg throws out Virgil. 1 away. Here's Ted Simmons. You know, Steve, the way this guy still hits the ball, I wonder how long it'll be before he's playing regularly for the Braves.
Well, Harry, he's got to catch, I believe, if he's going to play every day. They've given Ozzie Virgil every opportunity, and he's hitting in the 170s. There's no doubt Ted Simmons is an outstanding hitter. And you never know how patient Chuck Tanner will be with Virgil.
There's a pitch fouled off. Simmons hitting right-handed now against Fontenot. Mrs. Chicago just walks down the ramp. That evens a count, a ball and a strike. Ray Fontenot in his 3rd inning of relief. Bouncing ball. Lopes has got it. 2 away. Lopes throws out Simmons. That'll bring up Billy Sample, who accounted for their only run with a pinch homer off Fontenot in the 7th.
When Fontenot is right, much like Steve Trout, he gets a lot of ground balls. He's got an outstanding sinker, and it looks like he's got more velocity at this point of the year than we've ever seen him have as a Cub. So apparently he's over the arm difficulties he's had, and he's in a pretty good groove right now.
There's a pitch a little bit high. Remember, same starting time tomorrow, 3:05. So come on out and see a great ball game. Line drive foul. A diving catch in the Cub bullpen.
That might have been the defensive play of the day.
Who's that down there? He's not on the Cubs roster. 1-1 pitch. Two away. Right back to the mound. Cubs win. Cubs win. Fontenot throws out Sample. 1-2-3. And the Cubs have won the first game of the series, beating the Braves 6-1. We'll be back with the totals in a moment.
It can be a cold, icy world when you're looking for a reliable car at an affordable price. That's the time to consider the front-wheel drive Toyota Tercel. It's the most trouble-free new subcompact car sold in America. It's Toyota's lowest price car, and it has satisfied over 500,000 owners. That's why when it comes to value, the Toyota Tercel leaves the others frozen in their tracks.
Who could ask for anything more? Toyota.
Give me a light. Ooh, Bud Light. That's a great game.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Pitcher of light.
Bud Light. So if you want the lips-filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
Kill the mating call, Dwayne?
Daryl, are you sure all this will attract the Loch Ness Monster?
Of course. Once he gets close enough, we spring the catapult net. Then we make our fortune. There'll be books, movies, sequels to movies. We'll make millions. Dwayne, I told you not to blow the horn.
I didn't.
Quick, the net.
There's an easier way to net millions. Play Lotto.
This game is brought to you in part by Church's Fried Chicken.
With Steve Stowe and Harry Carey back at Wrigley Field. Well, I think Earl Weaver said it first, and Jim Fry said it was good enough for Weaver, it's good enough for him. Give me a 3-run homer and good pitching anytime.
And it was Ryne Sandberg day today. He got the Cubs their first 4 runs on 2 homers. Then the defense and the pitching took over. Good effort by Scott Sanderson and Ray Fontenot, his first save of the year. And the pitching is starting to come together for the Cubs.
All right, see you at 3 o'clock tomorrow.
I'll be here.
Very good. Here are the totals quickly. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Chicago Cubs. Scott Sanderson now 3-2. Ray Fontenot picks up his first save of the year. The game-winning hit, the home run by Ryne Sandberg, his second game-winning RBI of the year. For the Braves, 1 run, 6 hits, and 1 error. Their loser is Rick Naylor. He now has won 4 and lost 5. Hope you enjoyed the ball game. Win or lose, or even draw or tie. I'm a Cub fan, and I'm a Bud man, and I hope you are too. Harry Carey from Wrigley Field, repeating the final score. The Cubs 6, the Braves 1. Hope you enjoyed the telecast. See you tomorrow. So long, everybody.
Are these the type of people you'd go to for help? Now beat it. You bet they are.
The inner city is your beat. And no kid has a problem too big that you can't tackle it.
And they're here to cure your ills with laughter and fun.
Can you help me?
It's not always easy.
No.
But they're hanging in.
I love it!
Hanging In, beginning Monday at 4:30 on Channel 9.
1, 2, 3.
I need a vacation, like nobody's business. I need a vacation.
This summer, you need the airline with low fares to more places. The biggest bargain airline in the land, United.
I've got a vacation, and I'm not just flying.
Low fare.
I'm flying on vacation in the friendly skies.
With the right equipment from True Value Hardware stores, you can finish painting and start entertaining in no time. Cover walls with the Wagner Power Painter, only $78.99. For trim, this 4-piece brush set from Linzer is just $4.99. This rich 5-foot step ladder is only $17.77. And Oops Paint Remover from Nipco, only $1.99 a pint. Enjoy your surroundings with help from participating True Value Hardware stores.
Hey, Murph, a postcard from Nick.
Oh.
Hey, what's it say, dear?
This is it, guys. The Big Apple. And I mean big. You know, it took me all day to find the street my dad grew up on. And it's just like he said it was. I even met a man who remembered Pop. Then I saw the first lady he fell in love with when he came to America. If only Dad knew how Unical 76 is helping to restore her beauty. And she is a beauty.
Saving the lady with spirit, the spirit of 76.
Far out. I can't handle it, man.
Tales from the Dark Side. Sunday night at 10 on Channel 9.
Participating advertisers in Cubs baseball were Bud Light, the light beer with the first name and taste. Everything else is just the light. Your Chicagoland, Northern Indiana Better Buick dealer. Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick? Canon so advanced, it's the world's leader in 35mm photography. Zenith and your Zenith dealers. At Zenith, the quality goes in before the name goes on. United Airlines. You're not just flying, you're flying the friendly sky. Unical 76 and your neighborhood Unical 76 dealers who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. Your neighborhood True Value Hardware stores, they've got what it takes. Toyota, who could ask for anything more? Toyota. And the McDonald's of Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. Our next televised game on Channel 9 will be between the Chicago Cubs and the Atlanta Braves tomorrow afternoon. Remember now, our telecast tomorrow will begin at 3 o'clock. Our executive producer director has been Arnie Harris. The graphics by our assistant director, Joe Carneo. Our sports editor is Jack Rosenberg. It's a Cubs victory today, 6-1 over the Atlanta Braves. This has been a WGN Television 9 sports presentation.
Say, what if there were no WFYR Jeff and Jer morning show? To get all that entertainment, you'd have to hire a comedian.
Hey, how are you?
And singers.
Two guys. Okay, three guys. Wow.
Then a